call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got them in your sights.
You're just trying to find a way out. I don't want to tell you how to live, but I just don't want you to miss. And I don't mean to scare you, I want you to live, and I dare you to give this life all you have. Yeah, all you have. Whoa, 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 There's no way out of this. This life is all you get. One shot to take. Don't miss, just make. Don't get it twisted. We're on a mission to live life legendary. Yeah, we are legendary. We are legendary. We are not ordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. Nobody said it would be easy. Nobody said that it would all be fine. But to get where we're going,
First and goal, ball on the 8. Angelo gonna keep it. Running away from a defender at the 10, across the 5 and into the end zone for a touchdown. Right behind the line as Rendo looks to throw. Boyd over the middle, the defender slipped to the turf, and Boyd is gonna walk into the end zone for a touchdown.
And watch the eyes of Marcus Rouse. He sees it, he knows it. It was like the play was designed to Marcus Rouse, just a different color jersey, and he just takes it to the house. What a dream for a linebacker on getting a pick 6.
Rendo will throw on first down. Going to take a shot down the middle of the field looking for Gunter. Has a man inside the 20-yard line, and he's brought down. All right, running left to right. Gets hit inside the 10, driven backward. They're going to give him forward progress Looks like to about that 10-yard line. Big hole for Penn up the middle. He's going to go into the end zone. No one touched him till he got to the goal line. Davis Penn in for 6.
It was a strong win for the Southlake Carroll Dragons. This week they are on the road to face the LD Bell Blue Raiders.
Hey Dragon fans, welcome to the Dragon Football Night pregame show sponsored by Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Now here are your hosts, Chris Blake and Robert Clayton.
From Pennington Field in Bedford, it's the Carroll Dragons against the LD Bell Raiders. Our broadcast tonight presented by White's Chapel Methodist Church. Hi there and welcome into the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show. I'm Chris Blake with Robert Clayton, our director Tim Polster, and statistician Monty Clegg. We start a little earlier today, a 7 o'clock kick rescheduled for 4:30 due to the threat of storms in the area tonight. It's overcast and cool right now. There is a little bit of rain. As you can see, some umbrellas, some ponchos out among the crowd that's already here. But we believe, Robert, that we're going to be able to get this one in before the rain arrives.
No, absolutely. Hopefully, Chris, the Dragons bring their own thunder and lightning to the field tonight before the actual rain comes.
Yeah, we've dealt with enough thunder and lightning this year that I think we're good for a season's worth.
No 1 hour talking and filibustering online anymore. Well, I hope not.
We'll see. Hopefully not. Nobody wants that, especially not the viewers. But the Dragons looked great again last week, defeating Northwest 57-7, as you just saw, holding one of the best running backs in the area in check outside of one long touchdown run. The Dragon defense returned an interception for a touchdown and has now allowed just one score in its last 2 games. Offensively, the Dragons picked up more than 500 yards, including more than 200 on the ground, led by Davis Penn. LD Bell, meanwhile, jumped out to a 5-0 start this year, putting it right in the middle of the playoff race, but since then, they've dropped consecutive games to Northwest and Central to fall to 3-2 in district, with games remaining against Carroll, Byron Nelson, and a rivalry game to close out the season against Trinity. Regular season winding down already, and Robert Carroll has a chance to wrap up a district championship tonight.
Yeah, I think within 2 weeks left in the regular season, Chris, Carroll's closing in on its 7th district title in 8 years under head coach Riley Dodge. Thanks to their head-to-head win over Byron Nelson, the Dragons really control their own destiny. And that's the number one goal every year in this program is first be a district champion.
They've been rolling this year, outscoring opponents by 350 points. That's the highest margin among DFW 6A schools. They're also allowing fewer than 9 points per game on the defensive side and getting contributions on special teams. So what other things do the Dragons have to kind of polish over these last 2 regular season games?
Well, I really think at this stage, Chris, it's really about the little things. Limiting penalties, sharpening execution in the passing game, and I think continue to build the depth heading into the playoffs. When you're winning by big margins, maintaining focus and consistency becomes just as important as the scoreboard. But this Carroll team, they've had that position all year long, but they've also been able to get the number 2s and 3s in, midway through the third and to get that depth, and they've really not dropped a beat.
The Dragons have also had pretty consistent starters all season, whether it be for performance or health, knock on wood, of course. Haven't had to make a ton of changes there. The experience has just flowed through the consistency and putting in the work week in and week out. But we are about 20 minutes from kickoff here at Pennington Field. Earlier start, once again, 4:30 tonight for the Dragons and the Raiders. Still to come on the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show. We'll hear from head coach Riley Dodge and bring you the starting lineups. But coming up next, our player spotlight on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
Hey, Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
A little bit of light rain out there right now. You see some umbrellas up over on the visitors' side of the field here at Pennington Field in Bedford, where Carroll will take on LD Bell tonight in the 9th game of the season for the Dragons, district game number 7. As we welcome you back into the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show. And last week, Carroll faced a Northwest team that featured one of the best running backs in the area, and the Texans' Carice Sela. And Sela had one long run, but Carroll, for the most part, kept him in check. One of the key players on that front was Robbie Ladd.
Yeah, Robbie Ladd was all over the field on Friday night, Chris. You know, he finished with team high in tackles, played a big role. Again, like you mentioned, limiting Sela. Really, couldn't get anything started all game for the running back other than one big rug. His ability to diagnose the plays quickly and fill the gaps kept Northwest from sustaining drives on the ground, Chris. And I'll tell you what, it was a clinic tape for Robbie Ladd last Friday. Just a tremendous job at that linebackering spot all over the field.
See highlights from Ladd all season, including some against Northwest, but plenty of good form tackles from the Dragon linebacker last week, as you see what he's done over the last couple of weeks for Carroll. Head coach Riley Dodge, you'll hear in our interview coming up with him, praised what Ladd has done in particular over the last 3 weeks, but has certainly been a menace all season, looking at that tackles for a loss
he's
number.
Your prototypical linebacker. You want your linebacker, especially your main linebacker, to have a nose for the ball, and he has it. He sticks his nose in, he makes the tough hits, he gets away from blockers, and he's just a playmaker.
On the offensive side for the Dragons, we've seen him start to commit to the ground game a little bit more, racking up rushing yards over the last 2 weeks, 222 a week ago, 183 against Eaton 2 weeks ago. And Davis Penn also started to take on a little bit more of a workload, but he's had a lot of help this year. How has that depth in the Carroll running back room allowed the Dragons to stay productive on the ground while also allowing Penn to kind of take the time he needs to get back to 100%?
Well, I think the depth has been huge. Early year, the rotations with Biggers and Harrison Phillips gave Carroll balance and kept everyone fresh. Now that Davis Penn is essentially rounding back into form, the Dragons have a stable room of backs who can all contribute, and that's what you want, which makes this offense even tougher to defend. The depth has allowed them to stay physical and control the tempo week after week, and this is something this Carroll team lacked last year going into the playoffs. They had some injuries, and then I think it was the second round, we saw the injury to Davis Penn. And I'll tell you what, heading into the playoffs, 1 week, this game, next week left, and then off week, Chris, you have the ability to really shore up but have some depth.
Yeah, 4 backs with 25 or more carries on the year. All have had at least 3 carries in each of the last couple of games, and then nobody averaging fewer than 4.8 yards per attempt on the season. So getting some push up front as well.
Yeah, big credit goes to the offensive line too. You have the guys up front. You're talking, C.J. Johnson, Kerry Clayton, Nathan Domrocki, Will Barley, Tristan Dare, along with Luke Wilson. Just incredible job up front all year, just paving the way. And I tell you, some of those lanes that are opening up, Chris, I can run through those.
Well, let's give the offensive offensive line some credit then. Well, Carroll and LD Bell getting set to square off here at 4:30 this afternoon. Coming up next on the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show, we'll hear from Carroll head coach Riley Dodge on the Dragon Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whitechapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
This is Pastors John and Todd from White's Chapel in Southlake. White's Chapel is a church where it's all about Jesus. We're a place where real people make genuine connections, where it's okay not to be okay.
We're a church where grace is a lifestyle and where everyone has a place, from the lifelong believer to the unchurched or de-churched. We're here for you, and we'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Stephen Nelson, partner at Mills Wealth. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping Dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
Welcome back to the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show as we get set for Carroll and Bell tonight. Chris Blake joined by Dragons head coach Riley Dodge. And coach, rushing attack for you guys has really started to build some steam over the last couple of weeks. 222 yards last week, 183 yards the week before that against Eaton. And last week in particular felt like all 4 running backs really got involved. They weren't getting touched until they got to the secondary. What's working right now?
Yeah, I think obviously credit goes to your offensive line. Tight ends are doing a heck of a job just battling up front. You know, going into the week, we were expecting a 3 down front all week, and then they hopped into a 4 down front. So they changed it up on us, and so our guys did a great job of, adjusting on the fly. And then it was really good to see Davis specifically, kind of starting to hit his stride a little bit and get into a rhythm. But we got to be balanced, as you get later in the year and you get in the playoffs, both the pass game and run game got to be a threat for us.
We talked about him a little bit early in the season, but what have you seen from Davis as the year's gone on, as he continues to recover to full speed, as he's progressed through now 8 games?
Yeah, I think he's just slow but surely just taking the training wheels off him, and I think, we feel confident in our running back room, feel like we got guys that get the job done, so that's allowed him to, for us to keep the training wheels on him a little bit longer. But I think the last several weeks we really upped his number of snaps and then carries And so, we're going to just continue to amp those up as we get closer to the playoffs, just so he gets a rhythm. And I think that's the biggest thing for a running back, is they get in a rhythm. It's hard to go, 3 plays on, 3 plays off. So he's going to be more consistent, kind of drive to drive.
Speaking of running backs, you hold the leading rusher in the area in check for the most part. Carice Sela did break off that 181-yard touchdown run, but otherwise held him in check. It seemed like Robbie Ladd was a huge part of that. Every hole that Sela tried to go through, Ladd was there to make the stop. What did you think of his play last week?
Yeah, he's really strung, 3 really good weeks together, just playing really confident. I think the biggest thing is getting like an extra foot in the ground on his tackles and not leaning and lunging and really facing people up in the hole. But he's been such a productive football player over the last 2 years for us, but he's playing really good football, especially the last 3 weeks.
Other highlight on defense last week, Marcus Browse jumps a screen pass, takes it to the house. What'd you see unfold on that play?
Yeah, it was actually pretty funny. He obviously a heck of a play. That was on our scout cards all week, and they were going to throw a screen to the number 2 receiver, number 1 receiver in the boundary with that exit motion. And he was a stand-up DN in the boundary and saw it the whole way and just jumped it. It was like he was the wide receiver, and as he's running to the sideline, he's just screaming, "I watch film." And so that's fun to see when you see, kids are dialed into the plan and they see it on film and they just react to it and play fast and made a big time play.
We hear that from some of your guys pretty regularly if we get a chance to talk to them about how much they do spend watching film. How big of a part of your program is that, particularly on the defensive side?
Yeah, I think in really all 3 phases. I mean, it's crucial. I think that's something that we really hang our hat on around here is the process, and we have a ton of meeting time. We have probably more meeting time than anybody else in the state of Texas, and we really are smart about how we meet. But the kids understand, they're very self-aware on who we are, and that's got to be to our advantage. We got to be smart football players.
One other cool thing that you guys had last week was John Gruden unboxing a box of Carroll swag on his Twitter account through Barstool Sports. How did that come about, and what was your reaction when you saw the video?
Yeah, it's crazy. I still have a smile on my face because John Gruden's the man, and I think he's an unbelievable character, unbelievable coach, and really good for football. Yeah, the video was unbelievable. He started putting out these boxes for colleges, like during the summertime. People would ship him stuff, and he'd open it up, and it was pretty funny. And we talked about it as a staff with a couple of guys, Jason James and Mike Tibbetts, and we talked about putting a box and sending it to them, and I kind of forgot about it. But they've been working on it for a while, and we got connected with Gruden and Coach James, and I think John Gruden are now best friends through text message and phone calls. But we didn't go through anybody at Barstool. We went straight to Coach, and he was gracious enough to do that for us, and the video just kept getting better and better.
Went on. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Just search it on Twitter. It should pop up. And then finally, about this LD Bell team you guys face tonight, features a couple of guys you're going to have to slow down in the running game. Brandon Gleim, the running back, has rushed for nearly 1,000 yards this year. They've also got a dual threat quarterback. So what's the key defensively for you guys tonight?
Yeah, you know what? They've had a heck of a year. Coach Dibble's done an unbelievable job at his alma mater. They've lost the last 2, but we turn on the film, and we've seen them all year, but just super impressed with what they do offensively. 22 the back. He's especially one of the best backs in our district. Not a lot of wasted movement. He's going to hit it, and he's probably one of the fastest guys on the field. The young sophomore quarterback, he's got some moxie about him, got some confidence, and really operates well in their system. And they got some really big receivers as well. So it's gonna be a challenge for us. I think they, statistically and then schematically, they do as good as anyone in our district on how they go attack people. So it's going to be a really good challenge for our defense.
That's Carroll head coach Riley Dodge before the Dragons take on LD Bell tonight on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Side gets away from a defender across the 5. Touchdown, Dragons. Welcome back into Pennington Field, where tonight Carroll will take on the LD Bell Blue Raiders. Hi there, Chris Blake alongside Robert Clayton, director Tim Polster, and statistician Monty Clegg. LD Bell won the coin toss and elected to receive. The coin toss brought to you by the Baker firm, Fidelity National Title. If you need title work, call Julie Walter. Teams have taken the field and have lined up along the sidelines. We will pause as well for tonight's national anthem.
The Star Spangled Banner will be performed tonight by the show choir of LD Bell, the Bell System, under the direction of Joanne Antonon and Xavier Bailey. We invite you to face the flag at the 50-yard line and sing along as the Bell System sings our national anthem.
National anthem performed by LD Bell Choir as the Dragons and Blue Raiders set to face off at Pennington Field. Let's take a look at the Dragons starters for tonight's game, this afternoon's game. Angelo Renda, Davis Penn in the backfield for Carroll. Wide receivers, Brock Boyd, Brody Knowles, Blake Gunter, and Caden Mackey. The offensive line, Tristan Dare, Will Barley, Kerry Clayton, CJ Johnson, and Nathan Damaraki. Defensively for Carroll, up front, it'll be Crawford Taylor, Jake Lucky, Jackson Oakley, and Marcus Browse. Linebackers and corners, Taven Coons and Luke Busman on the outside, Robbie Ladd, Will Lines at the backer spots, and the four safeties that Carroll will rotate in tonight, William Chen, Gavin Strange, Austin Busman, and Parker Harris. Robert, let's take a look at your keys to the game.
I think number one, you got to slow down Glim. He's the running back. He is really the central part of this LD Bell offense. And then you got to force turnovers. Obviously, that's key to any game. And then really got to get Penn in rhythm. You know, he's done a great job on getting back to the form that we've seen Penn of late. But get him in rhythm, take control of this game, and keep the ball out of LD Bell's hands.
Thinking about buying or selling your Southlake home? Meet Robert Clayton and Claren Clayton Young with Clayton & Clayton Real Estate, recognized by both clients and industry professionals as one of the very best in Southlake and DFW. Robert and Karen bring expertise and hometown pride. Clayton team is committed to making your real estate experience seamless from start to finish. Clayton & Clayton Real Estate, more Dragons represent Dragons. Gavin Strange puts the foot into it, and we are underway on a Friday afternoon. It is a touchback on the opening kickoff for the Dragons, and this LD Bell offense will take the field. It's been an offense led by junior quarterback Braylon Harris this year. He's a dual threat guy, and senior running back Brendan Gleim. We saw Gleim start the final handful of games last year for the Blue Raiders and has taken control as the starter this year, so he's back there alongside Harris from the 25-yard line. On the first play of the game, they give it to Gleim, trying to find some room up the middle. Not much there. Got back to the line of scrimmage where he's stopped by Carroll.
And this is an offense that TJ Dibble mentioned that has really come together. You have Braylon Harris, the junior quarterback, a really talented player. He can make some plays with his arm and his legs. And then Gleim's just their all-world running back there in the back, almost over 1,000 yards this year rushing. And this is a team that we're going to see a heavy dose of inside zone, really ISO plays, GY counters and powers. That's their identity as an offense, Chris.
Actually, it looks like it is the backup running back Jacob Priskinis in the game right now to get us started. Harris to throw on second down, incomplete over the head of the intended receiver Gavin Robertson. Gleim is along the sideline. He is not wearing a helmet, so not sure what that says about his availability, but that would be a big loss for LD Bell.
Well, like we said, this is a central part of their offense, and not having him in the game is a big piece and a big hurt for this LD Bell offense.
Team that uses a couple of tight ends a lot of the time as Harris looks to throw under pressure, flushed out for the right, floats it down the sideline. It is caught and inbounds along that sideline by Braylon Solomon, their leading receiver. The senior hauls it in for a Dragon Den first down.
A great job by Solomon just staying focused and bringing the catch down. Robbie Ladd had the pressure there on the Dragon defense, and good throw by Braylon Harris. We said he can make some throws. He's a talented guy. He can do it with his legs as well.
So first down at the 41-yard line. It's a big offensive line for the Blue Raiders. On first down here, Priskinis gets it again. He's going to be hit behind the line and driven back. Will Lines, the first one there for the Dragons. William Chen also went on the stop.
When you talk about a power play, and this is just really just power for this LD Bell offense, you'll be pulling two guys. You're pulling the backside guard and the tight end. And when you do this, you've got to fill the holes. You've got to come over top. William Chen, Will Lines, and Robbie Ladd. These are the usual suspects on this Dragon defense. Terrific job.
I mentioned big offensive line for the Blue Raiders. The left tackle, junior Willie Alusa, 6'3", 330. Left guard, Saiolie Tupo, junior at 6'1", 345. They swing it out in the flat. Priskinis, one-on-one with a backer, makes him, or slows him down at least. And gets past the original line of scrimmage. Taven Coons, first one to make contact.
Yeah, and Braylon Harris just trying to get it there in the flat, and that's a tough play for Taven Coons. Just an open field, just a running back right design play, getting immediately out of the backfield. Heads up play by Coons on making the play.
Rest of this offensive line, Simon Higdon in the center, 6'2", 270. Zach Brennan, a senior at right guard, 5'10", 255. And Sayo Seifa Fakolatanga, the sophomore.
Chris, you just won it. You won us at
6'2",
Emmy tonight. Great job.
270 at right tackle. So 3rd and 8. Just wanted to get that out once. Harris over the middle, flags fly. They blow it dead and going to get a false start on LD Bell.
False start on the offense, number 55. 5 yards from the previous spot. It remains 3rd down.
The officials tonight. Referee is Tim Early. The umpire, Cecil Edmonston. Linesman Jeff Payne, side judge Michael Corso, line judge Kevin Vorpal, field judge Kevin West, and back judge Mark Dobbs.
You know, Chris, what I love seeing about this matchup tonight is that left side of the LD Bell offensive line. You're talking left tackle 6'3", 330, and then the guard 6'1", 330, 345. That's a lot of pancakes on that side, and great. It's going to be great exposure for this D-line.
Harris tried to run, gets tackled at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down. Robbie Ladd comes up to make the stop. So it'll be 4th and long. They'll punt it away.
Robbie Ladd picking up where he left off last week, just making the plays. Again, he's the guy in that linebacker spot that Dodge just loves. He's really turned it on this year, done a terrific job. He's just making plays and getting the teams behind the chains. Great first drive.
Senior Elijah Apodaca on to punt it away. Parker Harris back there for Carroll now. Missed last week's game. We'll let this one roll to a stop as it took a funky bounce on him and comes to stop rolling at the 17-yard line. It's maybe one of the worst starting field position that Carroll has had all season to get this game started.
Well, they're not used to that, right? I mean, they're used to getting the ball 40, 50-yard line, having a short field to work with. But we talked about this in the pregame, fine-tuning things, and this gives an opportunity for this offense, to get across the length of the field, which they haven't had that a lot this year.
So Bell's first possession, 7 plays, just 13 yards, but did take almost 4 minutes off the clock. Carroll brings a receiver in motion. That's Caden Mackey going from right to left. So Angelo Renda takes the snap, hands off to Davis Penn on 1st down. He may have lost his footing there or just went down with the tackler coming on, not seeing any daylight. It has been drizzling a little bit, not a hard rain yet, so maybe a little bit of moisture on the field. But either way, he just got back to the line of scrimmage. Gunter's back there alongside Renda as well. Gunter going to get the handoff with Penn as the lead blocker. Big hole on that side and finally taken down after he crossed the 25-yard line. How about Davis Penn as a little bit of a fullback to spring Gunter for a big gain?
We're talking about midseason form and this unselfishness of this Carroll offense. All these players play a role. If you're sitting home and watching this, getting out there and being the lead back on a block for Davis Penn, incredible job. And you get the ball to Blake Gunter. I tell you what he can do with the ball in his hands. He's such a hard-nosed runner. Terrific job by this Dragon offense.
All first downs tonight brought to you by Dragon Den. So Renda takes the snap on 1st down, lofts one over the middle, over the head of Brock Boyd, and to a sea of blue jerseys. Falls incomplete.
Yeah, it was pretty good protection by the Dragons up front, and just a little high, even for the tall Brock Boyd. He seemingly makes every catch look easy. Just a little high there on Angel Renda.
So this Bell defense that the Dragons are facing, the linemen go 4 down linemen, which is something we can talk about here early in the game. They flip it on 2nd down to Boyd. Convoy outside, still has the legs moving, reaches forward, picks up the 1st down at the 39. Another Dragon Den 1st down here. But we expected to see a 3-man front for LD Bell, but they've got 4 down linemen here, 3 seniors and a junior left to right.
Yeah, I think we'll see. We saw the very first play, first 2 plays, they're in a 3-man front. They've now gone on a 4-man front. And this is something they're trying to do just to kind of eliminate that run game from the Dragons. But what Southlake's doing right now is they're able to get into the playmakers' hands, whether it be Penn, Gunter, or Boyd, just trying to attack that perimeter.
Renda will throw. They're going to take a deep shot down the right side. Boyd makes the catch inside the 25, spins away from a tackle, and finally brought down inside the 15. Boyd able to stop, come back for it, break a tackle, and gain some extra yards after the catch.
Well, you got to love this run. You try to get the LD Bell to suck up a little bit, then you get Boyd behind the defense, and then great move coming back to the ball and making the catch. Great pitch and catch from Renda, good protection up front.
It's a 49-yard gain for the Dragons. Dragon Den first down, and it gets them into the red zone. Gunter right to left goes in motion. Penn gets the handoff inside the 10. Puts his head down to the 5.
You got to love it, just the inside zone. And Davis Penn, we talk about his vision and what he can do. He allows this zone to develop. Great cut back there on the backside. Getting between Will Barley and Kerry Clayton. Great job on getting the second level by Davis Penn.
So Carroll knocking on the door here. 2nd and 3 from the 5. Tight end to the left side of the formation. They move Boyd in motion. Penn gets it again inside to the 5. Touchdown, Dragons.
Terrific job leading on this offensive line. Nathan Domraki, a left tackle. Will Barley, a left guard. And Kerry Clayton at center. Just get behind the big guys up front and find the end zone. And that's what Davis Penn does. He finds pay dirt. Terrific job. Great block by John Mark Fraga.
Touchdowns tonight sponsored by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. The kick operation for the Dragons, the deep snapper Cody Williford, the holder Zach Hayes, the kicker Gavin Strange. Strange puts the foot into this one and converts. So with 5:10 left in the first quarter, it's Carroll 7, LD Bell nothing on the Dragons Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Gavin Strange sends another touchback through the end zone for the Dragons, and LD Bell's offense, which picked up 1 first down on its last and first possession, will take the field again for the Dragons. A 7-play, 83-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Ended with that Davis Penn touchdown run, his 12th of the season to lead all Carroll players. The Dragons have got 4 guys double-figure touchdowns on the year outside of Angelo Renda. Braylon Harris takes the snap, throws over the middle, hit immediately, and it falls incomplete. Was looking for Braylon Solomon, but Gavin Strange got there in a hurry for Carroll.
This is an LD Bell offense with Gleim out of the lineup. It looks like he's not going to have any foreseeable future in this offense. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Braylon Harris to really jumpstart this offense. He's going to have to be the key component in any throws, especially on that on first down. You've got to get some positive yardage, and he's got to get this offense for LD Bell moving. And you got such a big offensive line, Chris. You've got to lean on him just a little bit to cut down that first down.
Harris has been a threat on the ground as well. He's thrown for just over 1,000 yards on the year, run for 435. They'll give it to Perskinis on second down. He spins forward to the 30, gain of 5, puts him in third and manageable.
Yeah, I think that's what I mentioned that with the LD Bell offense. You've got to do that on first down. You've got to cut that into second and short, second and 5, and get a easy convertible third down. And now you're at 3rd and 5 right here. So, and this Dragon defense excels in these positions.
It's also an offense that uses a tight end more than what Carroll has seen most of the season. 81 on your screen right there is Tayson Rutschman, a junior. We'll also see plenty of David Hackworth. He's not on the field for this play. As we get set for 3rd and 5, Carroll looking for a 3rd down stop. Harris over the middle. Incomplete. Lines in coverage. Solomon didn't even go to the turf to try to grab it. And it's a 4th down coming for LD Bell.
And again, Braylon Harris, it's not his specialty. Their identity is that running game, and you get yourself in those situations where you're forced to move the ball down the field. Not a whole lot of success. Again, not a whole lot of yards passing this year for Braylon Harris. But again, this LD Bell offense, you're in another situation. You're punting.
A huge collision after the punt, fielded by Harris. Running into Apodaca was William Chen. Flag comes out. Thought the Dragons were going to block that kick for sure, but somehow he got it
Chen
off.
Was there in a heartbeat. I thought he was already going to be blocked, but I don't know how he missed the ball on that.
Foul, roughing the kicker, number 9 on the defense. 15 from the previous spot, automatic first down.
So it's a first down for LD Bell after roughing the punter call.
Well, this Carroll defense has been so stingent all year that most of the times we find the best play from these offenses typically some type of penalty from Carroll or some type of miscue on special teams, not so much on the offensive side. So, again, breathing life in this LD Bell offense.
Now it's Blue Raiders ball at the 45-yard line. Out of the pistol, they give it to Perskinis, trying to cut outside. Not going to be able to get there. Tracked down from behind by Will Lines. These Dragon linebackers continue to show up over the last couple of weeks.
You got to love how Will Lines, how he tracks. He fills his gap. Meets the running back makes a move, and Will Lines just sniffs it out and gets to the running back and makes the play. This is where this defense is so powerful, is that, if they can get through that first level, they're really having a hard time even getting through that second level of the Dragon defense, and that's been the case all year.
We just got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10. The other running back who's gotten some touches this year for LD Bell is a sophomore, Jeremiah Houston. We'll see if we see him at all this afternoon, just to spell Perskinis at times. Harris looking to throw, has time over the middle, picked off or dropped incomplete. Taven Coons had hands on it, but as he hit the turf, the ball popped out.
Braylon Harris going for number 81, the 6'3", 235-pound junior Rutschman. And I tell you what, he's a big target, but Kuntz had it in his sights, and great job on just being there. Almost came up with the pick.
He's intercepted 1 pass already this season. Dragons as a team have 5 interceptions. They're +5 on the year in the turnover margin. It's 3rd and 10. In motion goes Solomon. Harris looks to the flat, now is going to tuck it and try to run for the first down. Stiff arm across midfield, falls forward. It looks like he's going to be just short at the 46-yard line.
A very smart play by Braylon Harris on pocket collapses. He doesn't take a chance on getting sacked. He moves up, uses his legs, which are very important for Braylon. He has an ability to escape and make plays. Great job on almost getting the first down for the Blue Raiders.
It looks like they're going to go for it here. Carroll would get the ball in great field position if the Dragons come up with a stop. Play clock already down to 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Perskinis gets outside. He's going to have enough for the first down. Finally brought down by Luke Bussman, but that'll be enough to move the chains.
What a cut by Perskinis. I tell you what, you're going there on the zone, hits on the backside, very similar to what we saw with Davis Penn, but finds his edge there on the left guard or the right guard and right tackle on the backside. Great job on getting in there and getting the first down.
First downs again, sponsored by Dragon Den. This puts the ball at the 42 of the Dragons. And LD Bell seems more than content, even early in the game, to just try to hold on to possession, slow this thing down a little bit.
You've got to. Sometimes your biggest weapon is just keeping that Dragon offense off the field. And if you're LD Bell, you've got to milk this clock a little bit, allowed to play in your favor.
Rutschman moves in motion to the left side of the formation. On the option, Harris keeps it, tucks it, is going to be hit and taken down as he crosses the 40-yard line by Coons. Short gain, about 4 yards on the play.
Well, you can see that Braylon Harris is starting to find a little bit of rhythm, and TJ Dibble is kind of allowing it in his junior quarterback's arms right now, saying, hey, you've got to lead this offense. You're the key component. So I'm gonna look for this LD Bell offense on just allowing Braylon just to be a playmaker there. Great job by the junior quarterback.
Harris, a guy who was the starter on JV last season. Rolling out to his right here, under pressure, heavy pressure, throws it up for grabs along the Carroll sideline. They're going to rule it incomplete. Guess it got close to the line of scrimmage.
Well, we talk about, TJ Dibble talks about this team being very, very young, juniors and sophomores. It's a very talented group. They're just about a year away. We'll hold on for this penalty call.
They will call intentional grounding on Harris after all. There was a receiver nearby, Aiden Torres, number 88, but I don't think the ball reached the line of scrimmage.
No, but you talk about this junior or sophomore class of LD Bell. In those key situations, you saw a few of the receivers just stop on the routes. And it didn't come back to Braylon to give an opportunity. And those are things you've got to play through the whistle if you're this young LD Bell team. You've got to find a way to create a play. And it was evident there, put Braylon Harris in a tough spot, forcing the tough throw.
So now 3rd and 21, back inside their own territory. They're just going to keep it on the ground. Perskinis will cross midfield and be stopped by Coons to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, if I'm TJ Dibble, there's almost 800 pounds of linemen on that left side. Get behind those big guys up front and just let them gobble up the defensive line. Keep pounding that run game. Unfortunately, just behind the chains a little bit too much right now.
And this will be the end of the first quarter. They do not have to snap the ball again. Talking about Dibble, we'll talk about him a little bit more as we work through the broadcast, but in his 5th year as the head coach, an LD Bell grad, and career record now of 22 and 25. Well, that does bring us to the end of the first quarter. Carroll up on LD Bell 7-0 after 12 minutes of play. Quarter number 2 starts next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Fourth and 14 for LD Bell to begin the second quarter. And it looks like they're sending the offense back out onto the field to go for it here on 4th and long. Ball at the Carroll 46. Harris and Priskinnis in the backfield. Tight end goes in motion to the right side. William Chen showing blitz. It's going to be a pooch punt by the quarterback and fielded by Parker Harris. Fair caught at the 12-yard line. So Carroll will face a long field again for the second time today. First time, Dragons were able to cover 83 yards and get the ball into the end zone, but another long field.
Yeah, I mean, that first drive, and this is a great experience for this Carroll offense. You know, you take it the length of the field in the first drive, and you did it by a combination of runs, getting your playmakers the ball and getting downfield. And, you know, you got to love, if you rally dodge, yeah, it's not fun, but I tell you what, getting the ability and the exposure going the length of the field for a second drive in a row is a great opportunity for this offense.
They had the benefit of one big chunk play, a 49-yard reception by Brock Boyd on that first offensive series. Now they send Gunter in motion, or will swing it out to Mackey in the left flat, had a couple of blockers in front of him, and is going to be brought down. Nice job by one of the LD Bell defenders to get off the block and make the stop. Looked like Cole Martin, the senior linebacker, on the tackle.
Yeah, great job by Cole Martin there, and just winning that individual battle on that little pop pass, which we see almost extension of the run game for this Dragon offense. They like to get out the perimeter and allow their skill positions to make those blocks as an extension as offensive linemen.
A 2nd and 10, Penn in the backfield. Gunter motions into the slot. Renda looks to throw, has time now under pressure, going to tuck it and run across the 20, and will be stopped inbounds. Getting off that block, stopping him shy of the yard to gain, was the sophomore Zion Baker, a player they're excited about.
Absolutely. I think there's a few guys on this defense that they love. I think also number 42, Micaiah Kennedy, he's a great defensive end. But what I love about that play, just with Angel Rendo, talk about his development on, you know, it's not there, don't force it, use your legs. Again, he's probably the fastest guy on the field at any point in time.
So 3rd and short, Knowles motions inside the numbers. They'll give it to Penn on 3rd down. He's going to be stopped for a loss. They lose a yard, and the guy you just mentioned, the senior defensive end, Micaiah Kennedy, on the stop.
Kennedy, I tell you what, you know, he jumps off the film if you watch it. He's a twitchy guy. He's fast. He's powerful. He plays that defensive end spot very, very well. He's the guy I just see on film that he has an opportunity to go play at the next level if he wants to.
So Zach Hayes will come on to punt it away for the Dragons, signaling they need one more guy out onto the field. Back to return for LD Bell, Caleb DiGiulio. He's a starting safety for the Blue Raiders. And Hayes on to punt for just the 10th time this year. Gets it away. Will be fair caught by DiGiulio at the 45-yard line. So good field position here for LD Bell with just under 10 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Well, it looks like that choice by TJ Dibble to do the pooch kick, you know, instead of going for it on 4th down, is paying some type of dividends right now. It forced a rarity of a Southlake team going 3 and out and give an opportunity at midfield for LD Bell, which we don't see a lot.
No. Carroll has not had opponents start with very good field position often this year. For the Dragons, covering just 6 yards on that series in 2 minutes and 4 seconds. So Priskinnis into the game at running back. They flip it to Solomon on the misdirection across midfield and gets the first down. A little misdirection play there by the Blue Raiders.
We get a little jet sweep. We talked about, you know, Southlake getting their playmakers involved in the run game, and Solomon is one of those guys for LD Bell that he can make plays and get him on the perimeter, and great play call by TJ Dibble and company.
And again, taking some time. And we talk about possessing the football being one of the best weapons against Carroll's offense. But it's hard for teams to actually put it into practice. LD Bell, through a quarter plus a few minutes, has done it so far. Priskinnis on 1st down gets a yard.
Great
to the 42.
Really good job by the Dragon defense there. You had the whole defensive line slanting to the right, and then Will Lyons coming back on the backside on maintaining his gap and making the play. You know, that's very tough for a zone team when you have slanting linemen because gaps change a little bit.
So 2nd and 9 coming up. The other player we haven't seen that's been a big contributor to LD Bell offensively has been the tight end David Hackworth. As Perskin is trying to find some running room, he's slowed down and finally buried by a sea of white jerseys. Parker Harris, the first one there to slow him down, and then the convoy came.
A terrific job by Parker Harris, just coming down from that safety spot and setting the tone there on the edge. I tell you, that's a tough spot. If he doesn't make that play, there's a lot of greenery in front of him to get that first down, and great job. And then it's just tackle by company for the Dragon defense. And Chris, you mentioned Hackworth. He's the guy that Dibble on LD Bell said he's the key part of this offense. He's one of the best blockers, almost an extension of that offensive line.
Senior running back Dante Slayton into the game now for the first time. He's under pressure. They try to swing it out to him and nearly picked off. That was almost an exact replay of what we saw last week when Marcus Browse jumped her out. This time it was Jackson Oakley getting in the way.
You got to love it. Coach Dodge always says this, when in doubt, just blitz chin. He can always make a play, and he's always so lethal on the edge. But what a play by Jackson Oakley, getting out there, the big man out on the perimeter, almost coming up with the interception, and he would have taken that to the house. I know he's licking his chops right now, wanting another opportunity for that. But I tell you what, this Dragon defense, you send Chin, the reigning defensive player of the year, on the edge. He is so hard to pick up and creates chaos for any quarterback.
So they're going to go for it on 4th down. We'll see if it's another pooch kick. Dragons have Harris back there, and it will be another pooch punt. Harris is going to field it and return it this time from the 10-yard line across the 20, and will step out of bounds along that Blue Raiders sideline. So good return for Harris on the pooch kick. Let's take a quick 30-second break here with 7:23 to go in the second quarter. Carroll up 7-0 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
First down play for the Dragons is completed to Brody Knowles along the LD Bell sideline. Carroll's 3rd possession of the game, coming with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 3 for Carroll. Fake to Penn, throw right side. Boyd stiff arms the defender, running room outside across midfield and finally out of bounds. Brock Boyd showing off the strength there to pick up some yards after contact.
A great job on Angel Rinda, sitting in the pocket, hitting a little quick slant there to Boyd. And, you kind of got this feeling Boyd's going to have a night tonight. He's had a big run, a big catch, and now another catch. He's so difficult to cover. The Ohio State commit, to me, the best receiver in the state of Texas, and if not the best in the country. Tremendous athlete. Get the ball to your playmakers.
Boyd came into tonight leading the Dragons in receptions with 45. He's got 10 touchdowns. He's the all-time Carroll leader in receptions at 216 coming into tonight's game. 1st and 10. Flag comes out. Carroll's going to be called for a false start.
False start on the offense, number 68.
So it backs the Dragons up 5. Carroll's had a couple of penalties already tonight. Not what we're used to seeing from the Dragons. Usually a pretty clean game for Carroll. So now 1st and 15, just over the wrong side of the 50. Three down front for the Blue Raiders. Renda all day to throw. Carroll sideline incomplete.
Just missing Boyd there on the little out route there on the sidelines. And I tell you what, you can start feeling the LD Bell defense. They're getting some confidence. They've got some mojo there. Last drive, putting them Carroll out, 3 and out, 4 and out. putting Southlake in a tough second down spot now.
It's an LD Bell team that's had a good year so far. 5-2. They started the year 5-0. Renda fakes the handoff, throws to Knowles, completed the 45-yard line, spins out a one tackle, and then brought down at the 40-yard line by Trayvon Taylor.
They started out 5-0, and they're 5-2, like you mentioned. But Coach Dibble said they still haven't played a complete game yet, and he's still wanting them to hit all three phases of the game. And he feels like this is a very talented group, but again, it's a very young group. And that's this is one of the teams in the district that we'll talk about next week is a young team in Carroll Central as well. Two programs that are really rising in this district.
Yeah, LD Bell lost to Central last week, 38-23. It was the first game they haven't won or been in until the very end. As Renda under pressure here, looking for somewhere to go, flushed out to the right, throws on the run along the Dragons sideline, and Gunter couldn't get back to it in time, so it'll be 4th down.
Again, a smart play by Renda, to get out of the pocket, getting chased down, didn't make an error throw, just knew that he'd get it close to a receiver, so he didn't get a penalty call. So heads up on Renda. Now you're creating a 4th and manageable. We talked about this earlier in the game, Chris. It's probably a little too far for Gavin Strange on a field goal, but it's some opportunities Coach Dodge probably wants to look at as the game goes on to get the field goal unit out there.
From the 40-yard line, they're going to go for it on 4th down. 2 receivers to the right, Penn in the backfield. Knowles to the right of the line. Hard count from Renda. And Riley Dodge is going to call timeout. So maybe the Dragons will try the long field goal here. It'd be long, but who knows? We'll see what they come up with out of the timeout. Timeouts brought to you by Dragon Special Olympics. With 5:50 to go in the second, Carroll 7, LD Bell nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
It is still the first team offense huddled around Riley Dodge, so it does not look like it will be a long field goal try, but the offense coming back out onto the field on 4th and 4 from the Blue Raider 40. Where are you looking if you're Angelo Renda here?
You got a few options. I think you get behind this offensive line, lean, get some type of ISO or some type of inside zone, or get a little pop-pass out there to the right and get it in your playmaker's hands, Chris.
Well, Dibble sees what the Carroll offense comes out in, calls a timeout of his own, so we'll take another one with the same amount of time. 5:50 to go before halftime. Carroll up 7-0 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn-ins. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
So each coach has used a timeout before this 4th down play for Carroll. It's a big moment in the game.
Well, it's a pivotal moment, especially for LD Bell. You've got to create a stop here. It's a big opportunity for this Blue Raider defense.
Gunter lined up off the hip of the tight end. He and Fraga will both go to the left side of the line here.
I would expect some type of motion by Riley Dodge and company, maybe getting there out in the flat, getting another blocker out on the perimeter.
Play clock to 6. Renda takes the snap. Looking to throw, plenty of time, launches one towards the end zone, looking for Boyd. It is caught inside the 5. Brock Boyd in single coverage hauls it in, and Carroll's knocking on the door of the end zone.
what a way to roll the dice here. We talked about Brock Boyd feeling it tonight. We've had a feeling it was going to be a big game for him. And great job by Andrew setting back. Great protection up front, delivering the pass to Boyd. It's just a jump ball to Boyd.
On 1st and goal, they hand it to Penn, who is stopped at the line of scrimmage. The reception by Boyd, 38 yards to convert on 4th down.
We talked about, I think that surprised LD Bell more than anyone, especially us up here in the booth, on taking a big shot on 4th down. But again, you get one-to-one coverage with Brock Boyd, and I think Andrew Wynn is going to take that anytime.
Carroll ran a bunch of new personnel onto the field. Parker Harris is into the game, along with Nick Wilson. Harris going to line up as a Wildcat quarterback here. Take the direct snap. It's going to tuck it, lower the shoulder, and dive across the goal line for the touchdown. Parker Harris, a new formation for the Dragons here on 2nd and goal. Results in 6.
Well, you got to love it. You got to love putting it on tape. You know, Riley Dodge does it best. Get a formation, get the new guys in. And Parker Harris taking the snap. And he's such a big guy, and he can run so hard. Great job on the short yardage and getting him behind there on the left tackle and left guard, Nathan Dumrocky and Will Barley. Perfect call by Riley Dodge and company.
Touchdowns presented by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. Extra points by CLC Roofing. And the Parker Harris rushing touchdown has Carroll up 14-0 with 4 to go in the second on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
Hey, Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
LD Bell will get the ball back now, down a couple of touchdowns, trying to find a way to get points on the board here against this Dragon defense. The Blue Raiders defense has held up well against this Carroll offense, but at some point they're going to have to find a way to punch it into the end zone themselves.
Yeah, I think it's a little deflating. You kind of feel the wind taken out on the LD Bell sideline. You know, it's not a tough spot. They haven't been able to move the ball a lot today.
They'll give it to Praskinis on 1st down, diving forward. Short gain, 2.5 yards on the play. Yeah, they had Carroll in a 4th and 4, and the Dragons not only convert, but convert on a 38-yard reception by Brock Boyd down to the 1-yard line. Score 2 plays later.
And that's not easy. I don't think anyone thought that. But again, you know, Riley loves matchups. He loves putting people in one-to-one spots, especially you have the best receiver in the state of Texas going one-to-one on anybody. He's going to take that shot. And great job on Rendell allowing it to develop and throwing a beautiful pass to Boyd.
Braylon Harris, the quarterback, has not had a lot of opportunities through the air so far as they pitch it to Praskinis, trying to get it outside. He's hit by Will Lyons, driven back. They'll mark his forward progress to the 32, so it'll be 3rd and short for Bell.
Yeah, these are situations where Bell is manageable if you get in 3rd down. You know, you're not sitting here behind the sticks by 12 to 13 yards. You're in a manageable 3rd down spot. Now you just got to convert it. You know, put it in the hands of Braylon Harris. If it's not there, take off and go get the 1st down.
They've done a good job getting into manageable 3rd down situations for the most part this afternoon. Hard count by Harris. Lines showing a little bit of pressure. Landon Harris into the game at linebacker now as well. As Carroll shifts things around defensively. Harris has pressure off the edge, floats one up down the right side, nobody nearby. And he was hit as he threw. Getting the pressure off the edge was Brody Bourgeois on a corner blitz.
Yeah, if you're Braylon Harris, like I just mentioned, you got to make that first read. It's not there, you got to go. That Dragon defense is going to come. Will Munn, the defense coordinator, he's going to send that pressure from all angles. So if your first read's not there, escape and go. That just comes with experience, Chris.
Apodaca will come on to punt it away again. Remember, on his first punt attempt of the day was run into by a Dragon, and it resulted in a penalty and a first down. And LD Bell didn't have enough players on the field. They're going to have to use a timeout. Not a timeout that Dibble wanted to use there before a punt, but forced to call one before they kick it away to Parker Harris. 3:07 to go in the second quarter. It's Carroll 14, LD Bell nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Bell punting it away after taking a timeout here. Apodaca, a low line drive kick that hits at the 40, is going to bounce past Parker Harris. And this is going to take a Blue Raider roll all the way down inside the 5. We'll come to a stop at the 2-yard line, and Carroll will continue to face long fields today. This will be the longest yet.
Longest. I think it's the longest since probably Midland, the first game of the season. But again, a good test for this Dragon offense.
Parker Harris probably wisely staying away from that one once it took the funny hop over his shoulder. And letting this offense go to work. It is an offense that has scored 421 points, now 435 points.
Is that good?
I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
So, trust that Angelo Renda and this offense are going to be able to make something happen. First down. Keep it on the ground. Davis Penn just trying to create some breathing room there. Gets a couple of yards to the 4.
I think this Dragon offense, as you've seen today, just relying on the playmakers, and in particular, Brock Boyd just getting up and making plays, winning those one-to-one matchups, which Coach Dodge always stresses is win your one-to-one matchup and you'll compete on Fridays.
Renda's still in his own end zone. Will hand it to Penn. Runs into his own blocker. And stopped at the line. Blake Gunter was out there blocking, and he and Penn just collided. Gunter, a little bit hobbled after the play, is going to be able to get off the field under his own power. But the Dragons will take a timeout here before this, this puts us to the 2-minute timeout here in the second quarter. So we'll take the break as well. 2 minutes to go in the first half. It's Carroll 14, LD Bell nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
The 2-minute point here in the first half. Dragons on top of the Blue Raiders, 14-0. And a big third down here coming up for Carroll and for LD Bell. LD Bell trying to keep Carroll off the board again before halftime. Dragons looking to convert for a first down. They motion Penn out of the backfield. Renda will throw. They rush 3. Under pressure. Eludes a defender across the 10. Has the first down and safely slides down shy of the 20-yard line. A Dragon Den first down for Angelo Renda.
You gotta love what Angelo Renda did there. As the protection broke down, he gets in the pocket. He's actually holding the linebacker there, number 31. Points like he's going there and then escapes. Great job getting the first down.
So they will keep it on the ground with Davis Penn, keeping those legs churning. Falls forward to the 25-yard line.
There's a little inside zone by Davis Penn, getting back to his bread and butter, hitting off the right side there on the backside between C.J. Johnson and Tristan Dare.
This Dragon offense moving quickly here, getting a chance to run a true 2-minute offense from deep in their own territory as Penn takes the carry and picks up a Dragon Den first down.
I think if you're Riley Dodge and company, you love to see that, getting that breathing room out of a tight position there on your possession and then getting out across the 25-yard line. Great execution by the Dragons.
Carroll does still have 2 timeouts left as well. Mackey goes in motion left to right. Renda swings it out to Mackey. Makes the catch as he crosses the 30-yard line and stepped out of bounds. Clock still running. And believe now they're killing the clock. May need to add a few seconds here. But smart play by Mackey to make the catch and step out of bounds, knowing the game situation as the half comes to a close.
And again, getting there, getting a hurry up offense here at the end of the second half, trying to put some points on the board. Wise, you talk about player IQ, getting out there and getting out of bounds, saving the clock.
They put 7 seconds back on. Renda goes right sideline. Boyd makes the catch and steps out of bounds.
Again, surgical at times, Chris. Just a little out route there. Just nickel and diming this LD Bell defense down the field right now.
It's kind of what Carroll play callers like to do, and then all of a sudden you see the ball in the air 30 yards down the field.
Hit it over the top.
Trips left here. Ball on the right hash. Renda again goes right sideline. Almost the exact same play. Boyd makes the catch and across the boundary.
And again, on the soft coverage, they're 5-6 yards off, and you're giving them the room just to make these quick little out routes. Don't be surprised if they're trying to suck them up just a little bit to go over top and hit with the big play. That's what Riley loves to do.
2nd and short. And they've only taken 7 seconds off the clock since it was reset to 101. Renda on 2nd down. We'll take that deep shot down the right sideline looking for Boyd. This one is incomplete. Was not quite there. In coverage was Trayvon Taylor.
Yeah, we talk about just going, on the little out routes and then trying to hit him over the top. And Renda always feels comfortable. He's got Boyd there on a 1-to-1 coverage. He just hits there on the back. It looks like a little bit of interference by the LD Bell corner.
Maybe Boyd would have tried to fight through him a little bit more to come get it. Maybe he draws that flag. 3rd and 2 here. 45 seconds to go still. With 2 timeouts, Carroll more concerned with picking up that first down than time on the clock. And now the Dragons will use one of those timeouts before this 3rd down play. We'll take the timeout as well. Timeouts brought to you by Dragon Special Olympics. 44 seconds to go in the first half on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
3rd and 2 for Carroll out of the timeout. 44 seconds to go and just one timeout left now for the Dragons before halftime. Renda will give it to Penn across midfield, has the first down, and along that Carroll sideline will be forced out of bounds to stop the clock after picking up a Dragon Den first down.
You got to love it. Again, it's just inside zone there on the play side, on the front side, hitting between Tristan Dare and C.J. Johnson, and you see the explosiveness of Davis Penn. You know, we talk about him being back. What a great job picking up about 15 yards and getting out of bounds, continuing the Southlake drive.
36 seconds to go now. Clock is stopped. 3 down linemen for the Blue Raiders after we'd seen a mix of 3 and 4 down fronts in the first half. Renda fakes it to Penn, looking over the middle. Boyd caught inside the 20, goes down there. Dragons rushing back to the line of scrimmage here as we go under 30 seconds to go.
This is where you want Angel Renda, the field general here, campaigning the troops. Get set, let's go. Let's try to get this in the end zone before half.
And we get another whistle. See what the stoppage is for here.
Please reset the game clock to 30 seconds. 3-0 on the game clock.
Referee tonight, Tim Early, asking for a little bit more time to be added. Thought it began when he gave his signal and blew the whistle, but
right.
Reset to 27 seconds, please. 2-7 on the game clock.
Well, now we're at 27. We met in the middle of 23 and 30. Still one timeout left for each team, but the Dragons now in the red zone. Lou Jackmart into the game as well for Carroll now as Renda looks end zone. Boyd throws it up, incomplete. Taylor in coverage again.
It's tough. Look at just a little contact again, but again, going out to Boyd, let him make the play. And this is where Riley likes to throw to spots versus just men. He gets in that 20-yard range. You know, look for those passes again. And big target Brody Knowles as well.
Dodge talking to a couple of the officials there before this second down play. So the clock operator having to do a little extra work here in the final 2 minutes of the first half.
It's a job I don't envy, Chris. I've had to work a clock one time. It was at a freshman level, but it was the most anxiety I've ever had in my life.
On second down, Renda gets it out to Mackey. Has blockers out in front of him inside the 10 and dragged out of bounds inside the 5 by DeJulio.
Again, talking about the IQ of these Southlake players. Great job by Angela Renda getting out to Mackey and Mackey making an athletic move, getting upfield and getting out of bounds. Great job by the Dragon offense.
With 12 seconds left, but it's first and goal with a timeout to go for the Dragons. Penn to Renda's right.
Watch for Boyd here on the left. Brody Knowles on the left.
They will give it to Davis Penn. He's going to be stopped shy of the end zone. Picks up a couple of yards to the 2. And Riley Dodge is going to have to spend his final timeout here.
Timeout has been called by Southlake. That's their third and final timeout of the half.
That's the final timeout for the Dragons. We'll stay here with just 7 seconds to go before halftime. Good chance to tell you that Chad Cross with CLC Roofing will be joining us at the half.
Long time Dragon supporter and Incredible guy. I had an opportunity to go to lunch with him a few weeks ago.
Well, thanks for the invite.
Chris, I'm not paying for you. You still owe me a lunch, Chris.
We'll get to one.
But anyways, great halftime coming up, Chad Cross with CLC Roofing, but also we'll announce the 2025 Carroll Athletic Hall of Honor class that was just released this week. And if you're at home listening, you're going to hear a lot of names that were household names over the last 20, 25 years, 30 years. So I'm excited to go through that and talk a little bit about some former glory days with these athletes.
So if you're Riley Dodge and the Dragon offense here, no timeouts, probably time for 2 shots?
I go 2 shots. I think one of them's got to be to Brody Knowles there in the corner fade in the end zone. I think you got to take advantage of the matchup, the height, and just let him go get a jump ball.
Knowles will be on that left side all by himself. 2 receivers to the right, tight end to the right, Davis Penn alongside Renda. LD Bell does still have one of its timeouts as well. Gunter back into the game. Left side of the formation. Renda fakes it, gets it to Gunter with some running room outside. Going to be caught in no man's land and will be stopped shy of the goal line. That will do it for the first half. So the Dragons do not get into the end zone on this final possession, as Blake Gunter stood up by this defense.
You can feel the LD Bell crowd just surging with excitement, and they've had a few big stops this week. And I tell you what, this is the first time we've ever gone into halftime this year, and Dragons have only put 14 points on the board. So there's a lot to be excitement about if you're an LD Bell fan right now.
Lowest scoring first half of the year by far for the Dragons. It brings us to halftime. Feed Store Barbecue halftime show starts next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building, attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Before it was Southlake, before there was a Southlake.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Pennington Field. Carroll up on LD Bell at halftime, 14-0. We welcome you into the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. And our guest this week is Chad Cross with CLC Roofing. You hear us mention CLC Roofing after every extra point and field goal attempt for the Dragons this season. And Chad, thanks for coming up here. Thanks for being a part of our broadcast this season.
You're welcome, guys. Glad to be here.
Now, before we get into CLC Roofing, we like to put our guests in a little analyst role, see what they got against Robert. perception of the Dragons first half today? What have you liked about the Dragons this season?
Well, the Dragons are, they've done really well in the first half, all games this season, and this game is a little different. They should have at least 2 more touchdowns. The one there right before the half ended, they just didn't quite get it in. Southlake is disciplined. They're talented. They're well coached, and they're fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, Robert and I were talking before the game. Said this is maybe the best night of the year since at least maybe the first or second week to have you on. We've got storms in the forecast.
Yes, you never know.
So
hey, the Lord.
Do you have your trucks ready to go? We're going to get you out in time. So
hey, CLC Roofing is always ready to service the customers of Southlake, Texas. I've lived in Southlake for 13 years. It's our primary market. We love the Dragons. I've worked with Bill Webb for years prior to this. What a great partner Southlake Athletics has been for CLC Roofing.
Well, when we do talk about weather like this, in all seriousness, when the forecast is like this, I know it happens a lot more in the spring than it does in the fall. What are some of the things you guys are kind of looking at a day or two ahead of time, getting ready to go in the case of severe weather?
Well, just like any good football team, we want homeowners to be prepared. We want them to know who their team is, and we want to be a part of the Southlake community's roofing response team and help people whenever they have a need, whether it be small or large. So if you're a homeowner out there, have your roof checked once a year. Have CLC Roofing come out and check it. You can't see storm damage from the ground. You can't see problems from the ground. So it's a good idea to have that roof checked out once a year. A lot of the inspections that we do end up being, no bill, no repair. Just wait till next year.
I got a great story of Chad. I was actually, Forte selling houses is what I do. I had a situation come up a few years ago where you had replaced a roof maybe 3 or 4 years prior to me selling the house, and we actually had to come back to you on some written documentation about the roof and how it was constructed and what you did, and you responded immediately, and it was an incredible experience and eliminated any questions a prospective buyer might have had. So I think on your end, just going to lunch and talking to you, Chad, one of the biggest things that stood out to me was your responsive time, and especially in those critical need moments, whether it's a big storm or a situation happens, your availability is huge.
Well, you've got to be a great partner, and you've got to respond, and customer service is our primary objective, and keeping records and responding to warranty calls and being able to provide documents to people post-sale. Sometimes people call us 10 years after we did the roofs, hey, we need documentation that you replaced the roof back 10 years ago, 2015 or whatever. And my staff is wonderful. That we keep everything organized where we can provide that information to real estate agents, to mortgage companies, to title companies on the spot.
When we had lunch a few weeks ago, one thing that stood out along with this was the preemptive care of just getting your roof checked. What I'm seeing a lot of for realtors right now is, a lot of roofs aren't being insured. If they're 10 years or older, they're just not being insured anymore. And so for you, we had talked about just coming in and giving a diagnosis every year of the age of the roof and the warrantability and doing that, and why that's so important.
Well, the reason that's really important now is insurance is changing. And these are some of the nerdy things that we talk about, and these are some good things that really need to go out on the broadcast. Insurance is changing. Deductibles are going from 1%, 2% to 3%. Coverage is being minimized.
Right.
So what you could get paid on a roof 5-10 years ago is not the same now.
Sure.
So coverage is shrinking, deductibles are increasing. There's all type of exclusions in the policy language, and homeowners need to review that once a year. And unfortunately, we're too busy with Dragon football to read our insurance policies, right? So we come in and help with customers and inspect the roofs once a year and just kind of review some of that stuff where they're caught up to speed.
Perfect.
Chad, when you first walked up here off the air, you told us you had a story about Pennington Field from a few decades ago. What is that tie?
3 decades ago. Okay, so I was not like Robert Clayton. Okay, I was not a good high school football player. I was skinny and average and terrible. But 37 years ago in 1988, I made my first varsity start as a free safety for Irving High School on this field.
Wow.
Against none other than Tommy Maddox, an LD Bell Blue Raider legend.
Incredible tie-in, yes.
And I remember Coach Bennett asked me before the game, he goes, Cross, how many interceptions are you going to have tonight? And I said, Coach, I'm going to have 3.
How'd that go?
We lost. Tommy threw it over my head about 5 times, I think.
And as people know, Tommy Maddox is just an incredible quarterback, played in the NFL for a long time, and a legend here in LD Bell.
He played every sport. He was incredible. He played in the NFL, the XFL. He was a McDonald's All-American. But Tommy took us to the woodshed that night.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I don't know how you're doing this. He's an Irving Tiger. You're a MacArthur Cardinal.
Uh-oh.
This is not good blood in here right now.
Hey, the gloves are coming off here in a minute.
It's been a few years, and
you got to claim it.
Unfortunately, of late, I don't think either school has made many deep runs.
No.
The
We really envied MacArthur High School back in the 80s. They were they were kind of the Southlake of the time, and Southlake Light, I should say.
Right.
But MacArthur, football was really pretty dominant during my time period at Irving High.
And when I was in high school, the Cardinals had a couple of good seasons. David Beatty, who went on to be the head coach at Kansas, was the head coach there for a couple of years and really installed a couple of good teams. Who fell to the Dragons in the first round of the playoffs against Riley Dodge as the quarterback. Yep. So
let's talk about your favorite Dragon moment, Chad.
Well, there's a lot of Dragon football out there that I've seen. Chase Daniel.
Yeah.
Chase Daniel was later on a Missouri Tiger, and my wife. Here's another connection for you. My wife taught 6th grade reading at Crockett Junior High in Irving.
Crockett, that's where my dad met
my
mother.
So many Irving ties.
And Chase Daniel went to school there.
He would have been an Irving Tiger.
And he did. He could have. But Chase Daniel was at that school. So Chase Daniel's a favorite of ours.
Yeah.
And my youngest son, Chase Cross, was named not after Chase, but we kind of used that. We wanted a C name, so we picked Chase. So
awesome.
So watching Chase Daniel play and win the state title was really special.
Yeah. Well, it definitely was, and what an incredible group. We have a few of those guys that we'll be announcing tonight who are part of those teams as a new Hall of Honor inductees. So really good stuff, Chad. Now, tell me, how do they get a hold of you? What's the best way to reach you? At night like this tonight, how can they reach you?
Hit us up on the website. We have a Southlake-specific website called roofingsouthlaketx.com. That's roofingsouthlaketx.com. That is our direct website for Southlake residents. It is Southlake-centric. It is Kelly green and black. We have that's one way. They can call us at 817-416-ROOF, 817-416-ROOF. And roof is spelled out. It's 7663 if you can't remember that.
Yeah,
so it's a vanity number, so they can hit us up on the website. And of course our main website is clcroofing.com.
Perfect.
Now, one of the things that some of our guests like to do is make a prediction before the interview comes to an end.
Okay.
So projecting ahead, Carroll has clinched a playoff spot.
Okay.
Can wrap up a district title tonight. But further down the road, how far are the Dragons getting this season?
I think is as far as they want to. I mean, I've seen enough games and I've seen enough talent tonight to see that they can take it all the way. I think the usual suspects, Duncanville is going to be out there, and some of those teams, possibly DeSoto. But as long as they take care of business against those big boys, I think they'll go as far as they want to.
Now, Pastor John McKellar from White's Chapel came on last week and predicted a state championship victory.
He led with that.
By 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
Wow,
Do you care to give
that's pretty prophetic
margin?
right there. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go 4 touchdowns. I'm just going to one up the pastor.
Let's go.
Next week we're going to have to go 5.
Well, that's going to be me, so I'm going to say 7. So I'm going to do it.
All right, Chad. Well, thanks for taking the time to come up here and for your support of
Hey,
Dragon
guys,
football.
I really appreciate the opportunity. It's great to be partners with Southlake Dragon football, and let's have a great season.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chad.
Thanks, guys.
And that's Chad Cross with CLC Roofing joining us at halftime here from Pennington Field, where the Dragons lead LD Bell 14-0 at halftime. We'll have more on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show coming up in just a moment on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons!
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Do I have it? Dragons lead by a couple of touchdowns, 14-0 at halftime over LD Bell here at Pennington Field. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you. A little bit of an earlier start tonight due to weather. So this one kicked off at 4:30. And we are already at halftime here before 6 o'clock. Robert, plenty of time to get home and have a Friday night.
Chris, I asked you to dinner if you wanted to hang out.
Let's do it.
I got the half and half. I'm not sure, Robert. I want to hang out with you out of work. So
we'll do it.
We'll figure it out. Maybe my dream will come true.
Well, we're making other people's dreams come true here as you announce the 2025 Hall of Honor class.
Yeah, it's a very special group. It's a group that our committee spent an awful long time on, and it's been quite a few years in the ranking in the running here. And to kick it off, this tremendous group, Ty Barrington. I know a lot of you at home listening. Class of 2004 track and field, a 3-time state champion pole vaulter who continued his athletic career at University of Oklahoma. Just a legend. There's a lot of famous stories out of his house in Southlake where they created a pole vaulting gym out of his house, which was pretty awesome. And then you have Patrick Benoit, class of 2006, a 2-year starting linebacker and 2-time state champion. Was a Jack Pardee runner-up as the Texas top linebacker. Later served as a team captain and was an all-SEC honoree at Vanderbilt University. When you talk about linebackers at Southlake, you always hear about the quarterbacks, some running backs, receivers, and a few offensive linemen, but defensive side, it starts with him. It's a tremendous player for the Dragons. Next is Tally Thrasher. Tally Thrasher was a class of 2006 graduate, a softball player. She was a 2-time first-team All-State selection, a 3-time District Offensive Player of the Year. Went on to star at the University of Texas. A tremendous softball player, and a better person. I had a chance to talk with her on the phone as well when we announced this. And then you have Jason Fernandez, 1991 graduate of football. And, Jason Fernandez, 1991. A lot of people might not remember, or the New Age Southlake might not know who Jason Fernandez is. But let me tell you who he was. He was a standout kicker. He was an All-American, All-State, All-District kicker. He was a coach's all-star selection. He broke the national high school extra point record. And he was the first-team parade All-American. And I tell you what, he was just a terrific player. Went on to play at Northwestern State as a kicker, and he's back there in the Southlake Grapevine community as well. Then you have Mitch Enright, class of 2005 for football. Mitch, when you talk about leaving a legacy at Carroll, there's not too many people that can say that they started at Carroll for 4 years, and especially as an offensive lineman. He starts a 4-year starter on the offensive line for the Dragon, on the state championship team, the national champion team. He was the first all-state selection, and then he was named as a Texas top 300 recruit, and he went on to play collegiately at SMU and was up for the Remington Award as well. Just a tremendous player. He's a guy you've always talked about. He's just a legend on the Carroll offensive side, especially offensive lineman. You go to 2001 boys soccer, and this is a fun group. I actually remember this group. I was in Southlake. I graduated in 2000. This team was coached by 2019 Carroll Hall of Honor inductee Greg Oglesby, which if you haven't met Coach Oglesby or Coach O, incredible man. Captured the team's first state championship just 6 years after the inception of the program. The Dragons posted a 24-3-2 record, outscored opponents 134-17, and they saw 8 players advance to college soccer career, including 2 that went on to play in the MLS. And every player on that team made all district honors. It's pretty incredible. And then you have Junior Murdoch. He's coming in as a fan inductee to the Hall of Honor. And I know everyone out there, absolutely the name Junior Murdoch resonates. He's a fixture in Dragon Athletics, has served the community for decades on just being a clock operator, member of the chain crew, Booster Club president, Dragon Council member. His dedication and spirit have made him the beloved part of the Carroll tradition. You can't have tradition without Junior Murdoch. He's affected so many lives, and he's just that guy that, you said you needed something, he got it done, no questions asked, just got it done, and a tremendous young man. And then you have, Coach Andrasik, and all of you at home who know Coach Andrasik. He was the leader of the school's first cross-country state championship team. Coach O went on to be a multiple-time state champion. Really, his vision and leadership helped establish one of the state's premier running programs that now Coach Leonard has taken over. But Coach Oglesby is one of the first pioneers of that program, one of the first few coaches that led that program and turned into a state championship caliber team. So a tremendous class, Chris. I mean, you talk about, I know there might need be household names or to maybe a few people out there listening, but a lot of these players really made what Carroll is today. And it's a group that this Hall of Honor committee induction group is very, very proud of.
Well, and really a testament to, Jason Fernandez, of course, deserves all the recognition as well, but of course a testament to really what Carroll has been over the last 25 years when it comes to just dominance in Texas high school sports.
Well, and you talk
across the board, not just football.
Right, and you talk about the multiple sports, right? I mean, there's so many athletes to look at every year. In the office of the HOA committee that does the inductions, there's a big, really dry erase board that has every state championships on it. And you got to include all those players. The list is long, and there's a lot of players that affected this community in the sports program. It's just not football. It's just not baseball. It's just not those type of sports. It's well rounded, and Carroll's so competitive on every level.
And it hasn't even been that long that Carroll has been in the grand scheme of schools in DFW that Carroll has been competing at the large school level. This is a community that was winning state titles at the smaller classifications, and then in the 90s just started to explode population-wise.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I remember, when I moved into Southlake, it was a 114 was a 2-lane highway, really just an access road. We had a Dairy Queen and a Walmart. The biggest day was when McDonald's opened up off of Davis Boulevard. There was a line, about a 2-hour wait line. And of course, I was first in line, Chris.
Camped out.
100%. That's my Taylor Swift. And so, it is the community has grown so much just from, I was talking to a friend the other day, and they're talking about where they live in. I was like, that used to be the old Reagan Tree Farm in central Southlake, and, now it's developed into, subdivision after subdivision, and what it used to be and what it's become. It's been a meticulous plan by city officials for a long time, and it's an incredible place to be.
these inductees this year, big part of it, and will be honored here. Congratulations to all of those being honored this year in the Carroll ISD Hall of Honor. We'll continue here on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show in just a moment from Pennington Field. The score at the half, Carroll 14, LD Bell nothing. Be back in a minute on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HearstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
Dragons lead at 14-0 over LD Bell at Pennington Field. Then a game moved up 2.5 hours due to potential rain later in the night. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you here in Bedford. Robert, for the Dragons, 14 points in the first half. That is the lowest total of the season. 23 was the prior low. That was a 23-6 lead that Carroll took into the locker room against Trinity earlier this year. But what has LD Bell done to limit what the Dragons offense has done in the first half?
And this is going to sound maybe a little obvious, but I think Coach Dibble's coached very well. He's done what he should have done, right? He didn't go for the long 4th downs. He didn't take the risk. He played field position. He's making the Dragons march the length of the field. And, you know, it's 14-0, but the Dragons haven't really got the ball a possession past the 20 to start yet. And so they're working for those points, and it's eating up time, it's eating up clock. And Bell's done just enough on offense to extend some possessions at times. And so I think, you know, Dibble's done a good job. And I think the opportunity at the very end, you know, they had an opportunity to put 7 or 6 on the board. And, you know, that's something they probably want to relook at and go back. There were some opportunities there. But again, I think it's just two teams that are well coached right now who are battling. And this is a LD Bell team that was 5-0. They're 5-2. It's a good team. It's a bunch of good players. And I tell you what, I mean, they're doing the best they can with what they got.
LD Bell has had drives of 355 and 514. Both resulted in punts. But we talk about all the time, keeping the ball out of Angelo Renda's and this offense's hands is half the battle.
Right.
Against what the Dragons like to do offensively. Well, some of the other numbers in the first half from an individual standpoint. For Carroll, Angelo Renda, efficient as always, 14 of 18 for 181 yards. He's also rushed it a couple of times for 20 yards. Both Carroll touchdowns have come on the ground. Davis Penn, 11 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown. And How about this? Parker Harris, the 2-yard touchdown run. What'd you think of that formation?
Well, I love number one, putting it on tape for someone else to game plan for, but I also love it because Parker Harris with the ball in his hand is deadly. He's very explosive, and I love getting him there down inside the 5 or it really in the red zone, just getting him to the end zone. It's a great package. I love it. The only thing I would say would make it better, Chris, if we put put big Jake Lucky back there as a lead blocker.
Marcus Browse was in the backfield as a lead blocker.
Put them all in. Put Browse and Lucky, Oakley. Let's go.
Maybe just have them be the wide receivers and the running backs.
Little pick plays off the little pop passes out there, and get the big man in the end zone.
In the receiving game, you said it looked like it could be a big night for Brock Boyd. He's got 7 catches already for 142 yards. 3 catches each for Brody Knowles and Caden Mackey in the receiving game for Carroll. For LD Bell, the quarterback, Braylon Harris, just 2 of 9 tonight for 20 yards. He's also rushed 3 times for 13 yards. Jacob Priskinis, the backup running back, 10 carries for 23 yards. Again, Brendan Gleim is apparently out tonight. He's the senior running back for LD Bell that has really been the focal point of this offense. 970 rushing yards on the year and 8 total touchdowns. So not having him in the mix for the Blue Raiders certainly hurts a little bit. Well, the teams are just about ready to retake the field here at Pennington Field, so we'll take a quick timeout before the third quarter begins. The score at the half, 14-0 Dragons. That wraps up our Feed Store Barbecue halftime show on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
We are ready for the start of the third quarter at Pennington Field in Bedford. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton, our statistician Monty Clegg, and director Tim Polster with you on this Friday evening. The showers have not returned to this point. There were some ponchos, some umbrellas out pregame, but those all appear to have been put away. And the radar shows that storms won't move into the area until closer to 9 o'clock tonight, so moving this thing up a couple of hours appears to be the way to go. Of course, a ton of games in DFW were moved up to last night.
A huge game we watched right before this game.
Yeah, or earlier this afternoon.
Earlier this afternoon, we watched the Prosper Allen game, and that went down to the final moments. A game-winning kick chance by Prosper missed, and Allen took the victory, which led by Chase Hargis, defense coordinator for Allen, former Dragon player. Incredible job. So, Chase, if you're out listening, congrats, brother, on the victory.
Carroll and Allen, in a lot of the comparisons so far this season, have been far and away the two most dominant 6A teams as far as point differential goes, scoring defense, and all of those numbers. So we're underway here in the third quarter. This will go out of the end zone for a touchback, and the Dragons offense will get the ball first here in the third quarter. Angelo Renda, again, 181 passing yards in the first half. Both Carroll touchdowns, though did come on the ground. For this LD Bell defense, seeing if they can muster up few more stops. They did force the Dragons to punt in the first half a couple of times, which we have not seen very often.
Well, I think they found something there towards the end of the second quarter. You got to look at the soft coverage by the corners right now. There's a lot of opportunity there in the flats in getting there. and just taking and exploiting that.
Swing it out to Jack Mard here on first down. Full head of steam, cut down near the 30-yard line and out of bounds. And just one punt for Carroll in the first half, I should say. They'll give him 6 yards on the play.
Yeah. You're getting the receivers there on the corners, on the perimeter. They're playing 6 yards back. You get there and you get blocking on them. You're forcing those safeties to come down and try to make a play, and that's tough. And great job by Jack Moore just getting around the corner and picking up the yardage.
Second down, they fake it to Penn. Renda looking towards the Bell sideline. Gunter goes up and somehow hauls it in. He's in tight coverage with Zion Baker. And Gunter able to come down with the football.
Well, again, it's just Andrew Renner. Great protection by the Carroll offensive line. And great job on getting the ball up to Blake Gunter. And I tell you what, he can just make plays, brings down the catch, acrobatic catch by the junior receiver.
The Dragon Den first down. They go out to Knowles along the Bell sideline, out of bounds. All replays tonight, by the way, brought to you by Recoat Revolution, dustless wood floor refinishing.
Second down and 6.
If you're Carroll, you got to pick on these corners. You got to take advantage of this coverage and keep pushing them down the field, get them up tighter, and then go over top of them.
3 down linemen again for LD Bell. Renda is going to swing it out to Mackey at the 50-yard line. Makes one defender miss. Stiff arms another. Still on his feet across the 30. 25 and finally brought down. Mackey showing the athleticism to move the chains for a big gain to the 20.
Mackey's someone we've talked about quite a bit this year. He is an all-star in the baseball rings. Again, doing it on the field, and great job coming out here, a little pop pass. Great blocking, again, on Blake Gunter and Brock Boyd. And that's just Mackey just making a guy miss, being athletic, getting the yards after the catch. Terrific job by Caden Mackey.
30 yards on the catch and run for Caden Mackey. Now first down from the 20. Renda goes over the middle. Boyd inside the 10, brought down at the 5. Catch number 8 tonight for Brock Boyd, having a huge evening.
He is, that's his favorite target in terms of Angelo Renda. They have such a bond and a connection. It's gone through, DYF to middle school, into high school now, and just done a terrific job just connecting.
Renda going to take it on a design run. Penn out in front, leading the way, slides into the end zone for a touchdown.
Southlake makes it look surgical on the opening drive. A great job on just hitting the perimeter, forcing tough matchups with those corners and letting your playmakers make plays, and then finishing off with Angel Renda into the end zone. Terrific job by this Dragon offense, making a statement drive to open the second quarter or third quarter.
Did it quickly in less than 90 seconds. Touchdowns presented by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate, CLC Roofing. Brings you this point after try from Gavin Strange. Great to have Chad Cross up in the booth at the half tonight, as the extra point makes it a 21-0 Carroll lead over LD Bell with 10:38 to go in the third quarter on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
Dragons strike quickly to start the third quarter. 6 plays, 75 yards in a minute 22. It's the shortest drive of the night for the Dragons so far, to go up 3 touchdowns, 21-0 over LD Bell. Kick away from Gavin Strange. This is going to be returnable for Praskinis. He takes it along the right sideline and dragged out of bounds there. So LD Bell's offense will start at the 16.
And you've seen really the emotional side of it, of just not having Brendan Glyman you know, the workhorse on this offense. You definitely miss him in the first half. It's put some pressure on Braylon Harris. You know, he's made some plays with his legs and made some throws, but he's also had situations where he just hasn't been able to get out of, and it's really put the offense back.
And he'll shift strong side of formation to the left. Out of the pistol, he'll hand it to Praskinis. Off the left guard is going to be stopped by Robbie Ladd. Talked in the first half about the continuing strong linebacker play that Carroll's gotten over the last couple of weeks.
Robbie Ladd, I tell you what, I can't say enough about the young man and what he brings in that linebacking core. He's always finding the ball, Chris, and he's in the right position. He fills his gap, and the way he tackles, he sells out. And you know, if you're a young DYF guy watching the film or watching the broadcast today, just watch how these defenders in the Southlake just sell out to make the tackle.
3 receivers to the right on 2nd and 10. No gain on the first play of this series for Praskinis. Harris looking to throw. Is going to try to run himself and slide forward towards the 25-yard line. But head coach Riley Dodge in our pregame interview said Ladd has really come on the last few weeks. What have you seen from Robbie over the last few times out for the Dragons that has elevated his game?
Well, he's always been a talented player. You know, what I think what's helping Robbie Ladd a little bit here is also developing that defensive line. You know, they're holding up the offensive linemen. They're not allowing them to get to the second level, which is allowing Robbie Ladd to be the linebacker that he is. He's fast, he's quick, and he can hit, and he can fill those gaps. So I think as that defensive line is developed, it's pushed Robbie into another level, really allowing him to be the athlete that he is.
The 3rd and short here for Bell. Quick pitch outside for Skinnis. Got some blockers in front of him. Nothing there for him. The Dragons stand him up and push him back. A ton of white jerseys in the mix. Coons, Lucky, a bunch of Dragons over there on the stop.
And we talk about it, and Crawford Taylor leading the way here. And again, this is just a little toss sweep there off to the left side, and you just got to watch Crawford Taylor come in and feel it and just push it. And then you have the Dragon defense. The whole gang shows up. And I tell you what, it's difficult to stop.
So that puts them in a situation where they'll have to punt again. Elijah Apodaca, the senior punter, kicking away to Parker Harris. Another low kick for Bell. This one fieldable for Harris, trying to reverse field, and they block a defender into him who makes the stop. Flag comes in as well. He's brought down at the 29-yard line. Could be pushed back a few more yards. Good kick coverage by Bell. Aiden Torres getting down there in a hurry.
Lock in the back. 7 on the return team. Ball be placed 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Talking about long fields for the Dragons, the trend continues tonight as they'll start this drive at the 19-yard line. Dragons have started drives tonight at the 17, 13, 2, and 19-yard line. So 4 of the 6 drives for Carroll have started inside their own 20.
Incredible. I mean, great experience for the offense, but I tell you what, you know, that first drive starting the second half was surgical by this Dragons. Let's see what they can do on this second drive.
Gunter motions out of the backfield. He'll get it on first down across the 20 and stopped as he crosses the 25-yard line. A little extracurricular, but Tristan Dare in to be the peacemaker very quickly, protecting his receiver.
Well, if I'm running out there and Tristan Dare is out there, he's definitely the peacemaker. I'm not messing with Tristan at all. You know, I think he can solve any situation if he wants to. But again, you're seeing the activity of his receivers and what Dodge is doing, giving them motion, getting them out to the flats, and creating some space and letting the playmakers make plays. Done a great job so far.
Emerson Zadie into the game at running back for Carroll. And we got a flag here. Got a couple of the offensive linemen for a false start there, so that backed him up 5 from second and short to second and about 8, second and 7 actually. Zadie in there to Renda's left. Boyd, the lone receiver, at the top of your screen. Renda fakes the handoff. Flushed out of the pocket, being chased by the Raiders. Throws it down the left sideline. Gunter found a pocket, makes the catch near midfield. Still on his feet across the 40. Changes direction across the 30. Still running inside the 25. Blake Gunter spinning out of tackles. He's inside the 10, and he trips up inside the 5. What a catch and run by Blake Gunter.
All heart, Chris. I'll tell you what, we've seen this a few times this year. The play breaks down. And just watch Angelo Renda. His eyes are still downfield. He's escaping the pocket. Pretty good protection. Gets outside the pocket, points to Blake, finds the soft spot, and then it's just Blake Gunter the whole way here. It is 1, 2. How many tackles does he break, Chris?
4 or 5
3.
At least.
4, 5. Unbelievable.
Goes for 74 yards. Parker Harris back into that formation, gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Carroll. 2 touchdowns for Parker Harris as that Wildcat quarterback tonight. And Carroll leads it 27-0.
This is the nice wrinkle we're seeing in addition what Riley Dodge has done, getting Parker Harris in there. You can see how much he can explode in the end zone. You get him inside that 5, he's hard to stop.
A touchdown brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. Strange on for the CLC Roofing point after try. And it is good. Monty Clegg says Blake Gunter ran 74 yards on that catch and run. It's probably closer to the length of a whole football field with a little bit of that side-to-side.
He was a little tired. He needed some definitely some Gatorade, Chris, to get back.
Well, 6:50 to go in the third quarter. It's Carroll 28, LD Bell nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whitechapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Dragons up 4 touchdowns now, 28-0. Carroll's scoring quickly a couple of times here in the third quarter. That last drive, 4 plays, 81 yards in 1 minute and 24 seconds. The last 2 Carroll scoring drives have taken a total of 2 minutes and 46 seconds. But this kick by Strange is going to go out of bounds and set LD Bell up in a little bit better field position.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it from perspective. 14-0 only at halftime, but they had 1 punt. They barely missed the end zone at the end of the first half. But you're seeing how surgical this offense is and what they can do. They haven't skipped a beat, really. They moved that ball towards the second half or second quarter at the end of the second quarter, and they haven't really stopped, and they're doing a great job just finding the end zone. And Riley Dodge is putting a few wrinkles in there for this Dragon offense.
It really shows you that first half really illustrates just how much ball control has to be a part of your game plan against the Dragons if you want to hang in there in the first half.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's really tough.
And this is one of the other things we talk about against Carroll. Penalties that put you behind the chains, also extremely detrimental, as LD Bell's offense will get backed up 5 yards here.
When you play a Carroll team, they're so good at all phases of the game, and it makes it difficult. You got to play a complete game, and that's why it's difficult. I was at the walkthrough on Thursday, and I'll tell you what, the efficiency that practice, let alone it's only 45 minutes, is run, is pretty incredible, Chris.
Marcus Brous on the stop here on first down. Short gain for Praskinis on the carry.
Tackle by number 12, Marcus Brous. Ball at the 28-yard line.
Browse had that pick six last week. Jumped a screen pass and took it to the house untouched. Head coach Riley Dodge said as he was running down the sideline, Browse was screaming, "I watch film," because he saw that play as soon as he saw it start to develop.
Oh,
he knew what was coming. Carroll brings pressure here. They keep it on the ground. Praskinis avoids one defender across the 40 and will go out of bounds near midfield. Dragon Den first down for LD Bell.
And talk about that, Coach Dodge was talking about Coach Raz, I guess, before the game last week. The defensive coaches get together and they talk about, hey, what is going to be the big play of the night? And Coach Raz goes, it's going to be Browse for an interception. And so if you go back and watch the film of last week, when that interception happens, you see Coach Raz just go crazy on the sidelines. And he's pointing at himself like, I called it. So Coach Raz, great job on the prediction.
Now, do they tell the players what they predict, or is this an internal thing that they only tell them?
I didn't get that far in the clarification.
On first down, Praskinis gets it again, trying to find some running room off right guard. Maybe gets a yard on the play before he's stopped
A lot of white shirts led by 12, Marcus Browse, second down.
by Browse and Oakley. Praskinis has had a hard night running the ball. Had some good runs, but also just a physical night running the ball in between the tackles. A lot of contact in there.
It's just a very physical group, this Carroll defense. They play very selfless and they take care of gaps. They take care of responsibilities. They play so the other man can win, which is what you want in the defense.
On 2nd and 9. Dragons rush 4. Line spying the quarterback. Tried to get rid of it to Solomon, but it falls incomplete.
Austin Fussman.
And again, you're in a third down spot. I would imagine, you're going to have to go try out and get a little bit, get vertical on this defense, or try to if you're LD Bell. And if you're Coach Munn on the other side, this is a perfect opportunity to bring in a William Chin blitz and put some pressure on Harris.
Chen's always creeping along the side of the line, disguises it well. Sometimes you don't know he's coming.
Hear the footsteps with Chen.
They rush 4 again. Harris over the middle, too high for Solomon to bring down. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, for TJ Dibble, I think you got to keep the unit out there, and I think the pooch punts are over. You just got to try to get some type of points and get a first down. You got to get something moving here. You got to, again, keep pushing vertically.
And this is the 3rd time that Bell has had a 4th down in this part of the field.
Right.
First 2 times they have done that pooch punt. Let's see if they do it again here or go for it on 4th and 9. Tight end Rutschman goes in motion. It'll be another pooch kick. This one a low one that is going to spin and stay in bounds somehow all the way down to the goal line. The ball is bouncing LD Bell's way on these punts tonight, and Carroll is inside the 1-yard line.
We had the longest drive before. Now this will be the longest drive of the year. I tell you what, there's one positive about this LD Bell team right now is their punt game is on point, Chris.
Between both Harris and Apodaca getting it deep into Carroll territory. But not to minimize a district game, but for the Carroll coaching staff, are these situations that you do want to work on and see before you get to the playoffs, these long fields in front of you to start getting the offense used to these situations?
Well, you do, because different plays represent different positions of the field, and so it allows you to expand the playbook a little bit to see what works, what doesn't work. There's a different play call from coming out of the goal line to the 50-yard line to inside the 20, so you're getting all of that when you get these longer drives.
Bell rushes 5. Renda trying to get out of the end zone across the 5. If he can beat the last corner, he could run all day across the 40 and is going to be dragged out of bounds just shy of midfield. But Angelo Renda gets out of the shadow of the goalpost and then some on first down.
Oh, what a call by Riley Dodge. And again, we talked about Angelo Renda. He is the fastest guy on the field probably at any given point. Get the ball in his hand, designed run there, an off tackle, a tremendous job on the perimeter, almost breaks it. I tell you what, Angelo Renda is a special, special player.
It's finally dragged down with a touchdown-saving tackle by Caden DeJulio. Goes for 46 yards on first down. So now Carroll trying to cross midfield. Renda will throw here. Going deep down the middle of the field, looking for Knowles. Was incomplete. He and Gunter were both running.
It looked like 27 just turned around and he might have had the interception.
Yeah.
But this is what Riley likes to do. He likes to, after a big gain, he likes to take a shot. And he likes to get vertical at times and see if he can get over the top of them. But right now, I think you're at midfield, lean on the run game a little bit, try to pick up, get this clock moving.
They heard you. Give it to Penn across midfield. Brought down by Kennedy.
Yeah, I think you got to. If you're Riley Dodge and company, get this clock moving. Let's get out before storms arrive or anything that might delay, that we don't have to filibuster on the broadcast. But again, let the time be on your side. Click away, chip away a little bit.
Yeah, 28 points late in the third quarter. Carroll's done a great job of closing out games this year with big second half leads. On third down, ball at the LD Bell 49. Renda steps up in the pocket, throws right side. Knowles coming back for it, slides and makes the catch.
What a catch. Wow.
Brody Knowles sliding near the 38-yard line for a Dragon Den first down.
We've seen some highlight reel catches tonight, and this is none other than Brody Knowles. What a job by the big man on getting down, being athletic, and getting the ball. That is incredible play by Brody Knowles.
Just got the tip of it before he cradled it with his body the rest of the way down. Renda over the middle. Boyd, an athletic catch, was headed down to the turf, reaches up behind him and hauls it in.
These guys are so gifted. You know, you talk about the receiving corps, and there's been a lot of legendary receiving corps here at Southlake, and this is no other than another one that's going in that category. Just a tremendous job on what they can do.
They'll give it to Davis Penn on a new set of downs across the 25 to the 21-yard line. You just got to get it within a few feet of Brock Boyd or Brody Knowles, and it's a good shot. They're coming down with the ball.
It's like a magnet, Chris. It just magically appears in their hands. They do a terrific job.
Penn with it again. Offensive line pushing the pile forward for another Dragon Den first down to the 14.
I love it. Leaning on the big guys up front is such a dominating group of that five, and they can really push the guys off the ball. And I tell you what, enforce your will and get Penn. You know, Penn is just the job he's done in getting himself healthy and getting back in this position is nothing short than remarkable. Hats off to the young man.
2.5 minutes to go in the quarter. Renda to throw again. Under pressure. Has a ton of running room out on the left side. One man to beat inside the 5. Reaches for the goal line. Touchdown, Carroll.
You love it. It started with Renda this drive, and it ends with Renda. And in between, the playmaker stepped up, and great job by Renda. You know, checks off on his right side. It's not there. Scrambles out, and again decides he's just going to take it. LD Bell doesn't know he's running, and by the time they figure it out, it is too late. They're out of position. Great job by Renda finding the end zone.
Touchdowns presented by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. All of our replays tonight again sponsored by Recoat Revolution. Strange for the CLC point after try. And that one is good. Gavin Strange now 62 for 62 on extra points on the year. 2:14 going to the third. Carroll up 35-0 on the Dragon Sports Network.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
Dragons with 3 quick touchdowns in the third quarter. Kind of had a feeling going into the half up 14-0 that Riley Dodge might try to come out, put his foot on the gas out of the locker room in this third quarter, and they certainly have done so.
Yeah, again, the first half was just more of a play clock situation than an execution issue. And they've done a terrific job just picking up where they left off in the first half. And I tell you what, they're executing at all levels right now, and you're loving to see it. They're going 99 yards for a touchdown. Incredible.
Scoring drives today of 83, 59, 75, 81, and 99. On the kick return, Carroll, good coverage. Makes the tackle before the returner for Skinnis can get to the 25-yard line.
Landon Harris, 22, the tackle for Carroll.
And there is a Dragon player still down along the numbers, so we'll take a moment to see the athletic training staff tend to the down player. And while they do so, let's take a quick timeout here with 2:09 to go in the third quarter. Dragons up 35-0 over LD Bell on the Dragon Sports Network.
This is Pastors John and Todd from White's Chapel in Southlake. White's Chapel is a church where it's all about Jesus. We're a place where real people make genuine connections, where it's okay not to be okay.
We're a church where grace is a lifestyle and where everyone has a place. From the lifelong believer to the unchurched or de-churched, we're here for you, and we'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Athletic training staff attending to an injured Dragon player after a kick returned by LD Bell. Talk about some of the other games that were going on in District 4 6A this week. Told you a bunch of games were moved up to Thursday, so 2 of them were played yesterday. Keller just squeaked by Timber Creek 37-36. Brock Burkett scored the go-ahead touchdown with a minute to go for the Indians. Timber Creek had come back from a 30-0 deficit to lead 36-30 in the fourth quarter. But the Indians come away at the very end with the victory. So Timber Creek still winless on the year, 0-6 in district play.
Wow.
Trinity took overtime to beat Eaton yesterday, 24-23. The Trojans scored first in overtime. Eaton scored a touchdown on its first possession of overtime, but went for 2 and didn't get the conversion. So the Trojans...
It was a tough loss for Eaton. That's been
a huge win.
It puts them in a tough position to get in that 4 spot.
Yeah. And then Byron Nelson and Northwest going on right now as we speak. That one, of course, at Northwest ISD Stadium. Byron Nelson on top 34-3 in that game. So as we look at the 4-6A standings, Carroll, of course, on top at 6-0. Looking ahead to 7-0. Byron Nelson appears to be on the way to 5-1, all but cementing those 2 teams in the top 2 spots. But the rest of the way, there's still playoff positions up for grabs. Second down here, tight formation for LD Bell. Keep it on the ground. Pyle still moving to the 30. It'll be 3rd and short.
You got to love it up front. Jake Lucky, he's going against a lineman that is 6'2", 345 pounds. And he gets the penetration in the backfield. And we talk about, what these defensive linemen do, and it's selfless. They might not make the play in the backfield, but what they are doing is they're putting their man in the backfield, disrupting the running back and changing course, allowing Dragon defenders to get there and get to the ball and make the play. Outstanding effort by that front four of the Dragons.
Same tight formation on 3rd and short. They give it to Solomon, trying to get outside, can't get there. Hit made for the Dragons by Brody Borges to stop him from turning the corner and picking up the first down.
You love it in this Southlake team. They like to take down the interior and push it outside so you can get exposed on any defense there on the corner and from the safety side. You've got to have excellent play and great job on slowing that down.
So 4th down here. They do not have to snap it before the 3rd quarter comes to an end. About a 1-second difference between the game clock and the play clock. And TJ Dibble will let quarter number 3 come to an end here at Pennington Field. So we'll see what the Blue Raiders decide to do on 4th down coming up. 3 quarters in the books. It's Carroll 35, LD Bell nothing. 4th quarter up next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Steven Nelson, partner at Mills Wealth. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping Dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, we truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
LD Bell's offense comes back onto the field here, 4th and 2 from their own 30. We'll see if it's another pooch kick or if they do run a play and go for it here. And it looks like they're going to go for it. They get it out. Solomon drops it incomplete. Busman was there in coverage, and Carroll will take over at the Blue Raiders' 30-yard line.
You talk about execution. It's just tough. You had a step on the Dragon defender. You've got to execute the catch and the pass. Great job by the Dragons being there and creating the opportunity. Again, giving the ball to this Dragon offense that has been unstoppable in the second half.
Dragons have done a great job on 3rd downs tonight. Bell is 1 for 10 on 3rd down tonight. Their last 3rd down conversion was on the first drive of the game. So
that's not good, Chris.
0 for their last 9 on 3rd down. So we'll see if this is the exclamation point for this first team offense coming out on the first series of the 4th quarter. Angelo Renda, they're at quarterback. They bring Boyd in motion, get it to him on the wide receiver screen. Pitch to Penn outside, inside the 20. A foot race to the pylon. Davis Penn stepped out of bounds inside the 5, but another layer of trickeration for this Carroll offense.
Hey, I was there on Thursday practice, and I saw this play in the repertoire, and I was wondering if they were going to run it tonight, and they definitely did. It is a dynamic play, and what a job of execution. There's a lot of moving parts, and again, put it on film. Now you've got a game plan for it.
1st and goal from the 4. Penn picks up 26 yards on that 1st down run. Give it to him again. Into the end zone, touchdown.
Unbelievable. You should watch the surge of this left side of this offensive line with Nathan Domraki and Will Barley and Kerry Clayton. incredible job. Watch the push they get off of this front four. Watch that double team by Will Barley and Kerry Clayton, taking the defensive lineman in the lap on the second level into the linebacker, and just makes it an easy walkthrough for Davis Penn.
Touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. This one puts the Dragons on top 41-0. We have a flag down.
Because this might be the longest the first team offense has been in all year.
I think you're right.
Dead ball, first foul, 36 on the defense. Definitely will be a force on the kick.
I don't think the Carroll offense has been on the field in the fourth quarter at all this season, but they're doing it here tonight against LD Bell. Gavin Strange on for the CLC Roofing extra point try. The ball is up and through. So with 11:42 to go in the fourth quarter, it's Carroll 42 and LD Bell nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
$42-0 Dragons, the score, early stages of the fourth quarter. And just an interesting discussion between our statistician, Monty Clegg, and yourself about how you record those numbers on a hook and ladder play.
If we get mathing, Chris, you know I'm an expert in math.
So Strange will just drive this one into the scoreboard almost here at Pennington Field. But it's one of those intricacies you don't normally think about if there is a pitch on a play.
Let's break it down, Chris. Break it down for the folks at home.
So we decided that Boyd probably gets credit for a reception, but Davis Penn gets the yardage on it.
Yeah.
It'd be the same if Boyd would have fumbled the football and Penn picked it up, right?
Because you had a catch and then you had a lateral. So technically it's treated like a fumble. So you get a credit for the catch and then you get the rush yards for Penn. I'd assume. Now, please correct me if you're at home. Send a text in, let me know and correct us.
We'll ultimately see by tomorrow or Saturday what the numbers say for the Dragons. On first down here, it's Praskinis again.
Jacob Praskinis on the carry to the 30-yard line.
Picks up about 5.
Landon Harris. Gain of 5, second down and 5.
Brings up second down as this LD Bell offense is trying to get something positive going before this one comes to a close tonight. Praskinis, 18 carries for 60 yards, so they're feeding him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a couple of long runs, but as we talked about earlier, just a lot of physical running in between the tackles. For the Dragons, some of the first-team defenders still out there. As Praskinis gets it again on second down across the 30.
It's just such a physical group up front and then the whole Dragon defense. You know, a lot of offense when you see this, you know, everyone's playing 110% on each play. They corral that ball carry at all times. They're assignment driven. And I tell you what, they're just a very tough, it's a physical night for any offense that goes against this Dragon team because you're your relentless physicality.
Some of the linebackers into the game now for Carroll. Austin Tren, along with Landon Harris. Trent Fergal is looking to throw. Harris is going to tuck it. He's going to have the first down and more across the 40. Brought down as he crossed the 45-yard line. A Dragon Den first down. Another good run for the quarterback, Braylon Harris.
This is the best offensive play for this LD Bell team with Harris and using his running ability. And again, first read's not there, you got to go. And so he does that. He does it well, and he can get into that second level quickly. He's got some athleticism.
The guy who's been a big piece of the offense who is playing tonight that they haven't really been able to get going has been Braylon Solomon. They've targeted him several times tonight, but just unable to really get him going, as Praskinis is brought down for a loss of a yard in the backfield. In on the stop, Caden Hodges.
And I think you got to find that. They did a little bit of that in the first half with Solomon, just getting him on there some jet sweeps, getting the ball in the playmaker hands. And you know he's a dynamic player, but for TJW, you've got to find more ways to be able to stretch it out to your playmakers and get them the ball. And Solomon's one of those, especially when Gleim is out, it's not an easy situation.
So using a lot of clock here, trying to get this one to the finish line both sides. This play clock now under 5. Harris calls for the snap, looking to throw under pressure, and that's likely going to be a penalty. There was not a receiver in the area. He was also still inside the tackle box. I don't see a flag. Riley Dodge pleading his case along that Carroll sideline.
He's pulling his own flag out. He's in the call. He's in the call. He's pulled out about 22 flags so far.
It's a little surprising, but either way, still third and long, I should say. 3rd and 11 for LD Bell. Coach Dodge still along that far sideline as Harris looks to throw under pressure. Hit, going to be sacked. Getting in for the stop for the Dragons is Kyle Duras on the stop. Loss of 5.
Incredible job by Kyle Duras, just getting to the quarterback and making a big play on 3rd down. You know, you see Riley Dodge being animated on the sidelines regarding the no call. You know, talked to him on Tuesday. He mentioned he collects these calls that don't go through the ref. They don't make the right calls, and he'll submit them. He goes, all I get is, yeah, you are right, but it makes him feel better about it, he said. Nothing they can go back and do about it, but he will collect those.
The punt is away off the foot of Apodaca. Good directional kick. Hits at the 25, and we'll come to a stop there. Sacks tonight, by the way, brought to you by Life's Medicine. Start your ultimate recovery with Life's Medicine, located on Southlake Boulevard. So under 8 minutes to go. This Carroll offense will retake the field. We'll see if that was it for the first team. It looks like the starters are going to come back out.
Back in. This is the longest they played, which, again, you know, it can be good or bad, barring leaving them too long for an injury, but also giving them the ability to play a full game can help conditioning as well, because they're going to face that in the playoffs have to come.
Brooks Biggers is in the game at running back now for the first time tonight, and they'll run a reverse play again. Gunter on the carry, breaks a tackle across the 50. How many yards after contact does Blake Gunter have tonight? He's going to take it to the house for the touchdown. Blake Gunter after contact tonight.
You got to be pinching me. I'm dreaming of what Blake Gunter has done tonight. What a job. And I'll tell you about this young man. He just plays so hard, and majority of his yards are created by him running the ball. He's a fantastic runner. He's a hard runner. And I'll tell you what, just a special talent that's added to this already special team for the Dragons. Congratulations, Blake Gunter.
75 yards for Gunter. Now 85 on the ground tonight. Flags fly before the ball is snapped here. Carroll going to be hit with a false start before this extra point try. Touchdowns tonight sponsored by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate.
Start moves the ball back to the 8-yard line. We will retry the conversion attempt.
to try to figure out how many yards after first contact Gunter has totaled up. I'd have to go back and watch the whole game or all of his touches at least.
You talk about yards after catch, yards after contact. I mean, he's just an incredible talent.
CLC Roofing extra point try by Strange, backed up after the flag is still good. So with 7:40 to go in the fourth quarter, it's Carroll 49 and LD Bell nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
We're here to watch the Blake Gunter show tonight with under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Carroll leading LD Bell 49-0. Certainly sort of a coming out game for this junior receiver tonight for the Dragons.
Oh, I tell you what, I think first half you had Brock Boyd, now you have Blake Gunter. I don't know if there's a set of receivers in the country better than these Dragon receivers. Incredible athletes.
Touchback off the foot of Gavin Strange. LD Bell's offense heading back out onto the field for the Dragons. Defensively up front coming into the game now, we see Nate Martin, Caden Hodges, who had that sack last possession for LD Bell, along with Kyle Duras and Sam Erickson.
5 yards added on to the end of the play, puts the ball at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10, Blue Raiders.
Again, Landon Harris, Trin, and Fergal in there at those linebacker spots for the Dragons, as Harris keeps it on first down, picking his way through that Carroll defense across the 40 for a first down.
I think it's something this LD Bell team really had to do in the first half. They had to do those designed runs by Braylon Harris to take advantage of athleticism. Treat him like another running back in the backfield with really Gleim out. He is the dynamic player with the ball in his hands.
1st and 10, Bell.
David Alvarez out there at one of the safety spots for the Dragons as well, with Weston Duffy. On first down, they keep it on the ground. Praskinis going to be brought down from behind. He's knifing in to make that stop for the Dragons was Duffy.
You're talking about what Duffy has on his plate. You have that left side of that line I mentioned in the first half. I mean, Chris, you're looking at 330 pounds and 350 pounds. Some large men on that side.
He got him for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. Braylon Harris will dump it out too far in front of Praskinis, incomplete. Hez Rodriguez was waiting to make the hit, but it fell to the turf. Rodriguez had a forced fumble and a fumble recovery last week against Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at some of the Carroll fans on the visitor side here at Pennington Field. And that early start time, maybe taking off work a little bit early to get over here.
It's a great excuse to close our Friday on at noon, Chris. Any excuse?
We know you closed before you woke up today. Harris rolling out, pumps, is going to tuck it, try to run for it across the 50. Dragged down along that Dragon sideline. A flag comes in. No, we're joking. You were up here in the booth doing work up until kickoff.
Hey, Chris, you got to work. you know. But I'll tell you, games day, there's not much I usually try to put on my plate on game day. A lot of it's a lot of review and then calling and pestering you throughout the day.
It was an early one today.
I know.
Sitting on the couch at 7:30, you get a phone call from you. You ready to go?
Hey, you got to get hyped. The hype, you got to start early. It's all about mind frame. You got to get in the right mindset.
My wife's like, who are you talking to at 7:30 in the morning?
Say Robert.
It's just Robert.
Robert. He just wants to chat.
So the personal foul gives LD Bell a first down here. And Priskinis behind the right side of that line breaks a couple of tackles across the 25 and out of bounds inside the 20-yard or at the 21-yard line.
Inside the Carroll 25 to the 21.
So another flag down.
First and 10, Bell.
Maybe there wasn't. The clock is stopped with 6:11 to go in the fourth. Dragon defense trying to stand up here and pitch another shutout. Priskinis, big hole left side, is going to be cut down shy of the 10.
You know, finding success here really on the edges. They're getting right off those tackles and staying tight, but putting some pressure on the outside linebackers, forcing the safeties to come up to make the play, and doing a good job on just getting to the second level. And again, people might forget that this is an LD Bell team that started the year 5-0, and now they're 5-2. But they got a lot of talent on that side of the ball, and I think Coach Dibble, what we mentioned earlier, was they got a team that's laden with juniors and sophomores.
Quarterback Harris is a junior. Gets the snap here. Gives to Priskinis. Full head of steam. Hit hard and driven back at the 10-yard line. First one there, Landon Harris, along with Weston Duffy for the Dragons.
Talk about Landon Harris. Landon Harris came up with some big hits over the past few weeks. It's kind of emerged as that kind of walk-down guy, and I tell you what, he can bring a hit. He's been a guy who's been showing up, coming in for this first group and being on the second group, providing, we talked about that depth on this defensive side.
Started to play a lot more first-team snaps over the last couple weeks or so. First and goal. Priskinis looking for room. The pile stops after a short gain up to the 8-yard line.
Good stop by Ace Slavin there. Coming in that middle linebacker spot. Again, you're getting these guys rotated, creating depth, and it is a night. If you want to look at it, yes, 49-0, but you're able to get some second-team guys on defense. Again, gaining that depth, getting that experience, but also you put your first-team offense out there all the way through the fourth quarter.
Dragon defense has only allowed one touchdown in the last 3 weeks, trying to complete this third week of just yielding one touchdown over the course of 12 quarters. And before this second down play, TJ Dibble is going to call a timeout. We'll take the timeout as well. Timeouts brought to you by Carroll ISD Special Olympics. With 4:15 to go in the fourth, the Dragons 49 and the Blue Raiders nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Carroll defense trying to keep the shutout intact with just over 4 minutes to go, and LD Bell in the red zone. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line for the Blue Raiders. Send a tight end in motion right to left. Harris looking to throw under pressure. Incomplete. The receiver could not haul it in. The intended target was Nicholas Head, a senior receiver, and it falls incomplete.
A great job by Hez Rodriguez, just staying foot to foot with the receiver. Again, LD Bell, this kind of the story of the night, just execution. It seems like we talk a lot about that with teams that play Southlake is execution, because it takes a formidable team to execute consistently against this Dragon, such a very disciplined Dragon team.
Harris is now 0 for his last 11 pass attempts. 3rd and goal here. Keep it on the ground this time. Inside the 5 goes Praskinis to the 4. It'll be 4th and goal, and see if DJ Dibble wants to get points on the board or try to punch it into the end zone.
4th and goal for Bell.
Looks like they're going to go for it here. Dragon defense one more chance to try to keep this 0 on the board for the Blue Raiders. Solomon into the game. He's going to go out to that right side. Now he comes back across the formation. Flag flies. 2 flags fly. Harris throws it up for the end zone. Incomplete. There are flags down. This may be against LD Bell.
It seemed like a lot for one play, Chris.
A lot of moving parts.
I mean, you've had, and this is for, Coach Dibble. You have Praskinis led the way down there running the ball, and you have, Braylon Harris, who's dynamic with design quarterback runs, and, we get a little too fancy there going to the end zone. Do what you got you there, and if you don't get it, then that's part of game team execution. You just try to do too much there, and you just got to keep it simple, Chris. Simplicity is a virtue in the coaching world. Just keep it simple and do what got you down there.
So now this second Carroll offense will come into the game for the first time, led by senior quarterback Preston Perazzo. Another long field for him. Perazzo going to keep it on 1st down, has blocking out front, and gets out of his own end zone. And a flag comes in. In fact, the hit was a little bit high.
And it looks like just a little extra effort there as Perazzo was trying to get up. He got pushed back down to the ground. We've seen some chippiness on the field tonight, Chris.
Tacks on 15 yards to the Perazzo run. The line out there for Carroll now, Nick Wilson.
Ball to the 29-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Dragons.
Oz Chandria at center for the Dragons. Drew Goff, Hudson Hibbs all into the game for Carroll, along with Carlos Galindo. They get this one out to the receiver, Carter O'Neill. It's his first catch of the year. It's close to a 1st down.
I mentioned I went to the practice on Thursday and watching intently kind of, the scripted plays, part of the perfect plays that they're running. And what I loved about it, I saw Preston Perazzo just, standing right there by Coach, very intent, very dialed in and plugged in, to getting opportunities. And it shows here on Fridays as well what he does with this offense. He's a great game manager. He's a guy that Coach Dodge has a lot of confidence in coming in and leading troops.
Biggers gets the handoff and takes it to a 1st down at the 35-yard line. 1st down's brought to you by Dragon Den. And that brings us to the 2-minute timeout in the second half. So we'll take the break as well. 2 minutes to go tonight in Bedford. Dragons up 49-0 on LD Bell on the Dragon Sports Network.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Final 2 minutes tonight at Pennington Field. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you. A little earlier on a Friday night, though the sun has set. Threat of severe weather in the area later today. Bumped this one up a few hours. Just about every football game in the area was moved up at least a few hours, if not 24. Many of them were played last night. First down, Perazo going to keep it again. Gets a nice block outside from Biggers and is wrapped up as he crossed the 40-yard line to the 42.
If you're at home listening, and be careful tonight. It's supposed to get possibly a little dicey with the storms. I think that, like you mentioned, the forecast has maybe changed a little bit.
Be coming through a little bit later than maybe we initially thought. LD Bell brings pressure off the edge. They get to Perazo and bring him down for a sack. A couple of blue jerseys meeting at the quarterback there as they showed pressure and brought it from both sides. It'll be third down for Carroll here. Dragons keep the clock rolling and not have to run a fourth down play if they wait deep enough into the play clock here. They snap the ball. Perazo trying to get outside is going to have a first down and then some across midfield. He will run out of bounds inside the 30-yard line for a Dragon Den first down. You got to should ice it.
Yeah, you love it. I mean, even Riley Dodge is still, calling formations to put in great positions. Put 4 wides out and got only 5 in the box. You knew a run was coming, and great execution. Lead block for Perazo and busting him for the long run. Great job on execution by this Dragon offense. 27 yards for Perazo on that carry. Here he puts his head down across the 25-yard line to the 23. And now the Dragons will not have to run another play. Under 30 seconds to go. So they're lining up back in formation again. They snap it again. Perazo throws it out left side. It's complete across the 20-yard line to the marker for Cade Holmstrom on the catch. They move the chains for a Dragon Den first down. With 10 seconds to go, they run another play. Perazo keeps it on the ground. Still on the move. Carroll dragged down at the 1-yard line is Harrison Phillips.
Final play tackled at the 1-yard line.
Wow. And that'll do it. But Carroll keeping its foot on the gas all the way to the final gun. We see how close Phillips gets to the end zone.
You see Phillips here. He's sniffing the end zone. He wants to get the pay dirt and just cut short. Great job by the LD Bell defender on preventing the touchdown. But what an effort. Talk about the Dragons starting strong and finishing strong. That's what they did tonight.
So Dragons and Blue Raiders shaking hands here as they walk across the 50. As head coach Riley Dodge picks up career win number 102. The Dragons are now 9-0, 7-0 in district play, and look to wrap things up in Southlake next week against Keller Central. So the final score tonight, Carroll 49, LD Bell nothing. We'll take a break, come back and wrap things up from Pennington Field in just a moment on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Dragons a 49-0 win over LD Bell tonight to go to 9-0 on the year, 7-0 in district play, and clinch that district title by virtue of holding the head-to-head win over Byron Nelson. So another district title for Riley Dodge and the Dragons.
Goal number 1 is complete. The second goal is to play on Thanksgiving, and then the third being in the state championship. And they did it in Dragon fashion tonight, executing all phases of the game.
Practice on Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving.
Don't want to make anyone concerned that they might have to cancel their Thanksgiving plans.
Thanks for the correction, Chris.
But yeah, Carroll now 9-0 overall, 7-0 in district play. As we take a look at the final stats from Monty Clegg tonight, Angelo Renda 23 of 30 for 354 yards. All of the touchdowns for the Dragons tonight come on the ground. That offensive line, I know you'll be pleased to see paving the way. 2 touchdowns for Davis Penn, 1 for Renda, 1 for Blake Gunter, on which he could not be stopped, and 2 for Parker Harris.
Unbelievable. And you talk about you leading with the big guys up front. There's a reason why they're the number 1 offensive line in the state of Texas, and doing it in formidable fashion tonight. All those 5 hats are off to you. Getting the Dragon, players into the end zone, and I tell you what, but it's also in between the end zone, right, Chris? It's about the plays, the production, the incredible catches we saw tonight, the effort. It's a full aspect of all 3 phases of the game.
Boyd had 10 catches for 167 yards. Gunter had 3 for 96, but overall, Blake Gunter touched the ball 5 times tonight. Gained 181 total yards of offense, so pretty good yards per touch there.
Oh, unbelievable. And this is the reason why Blake Gunter is one of the leading receivers in the area. He's having a banner year, and I'll tell you what, all these Dragon receivers, they bring a little something to the table.
Now, we did see Carroll score 14 points in the first half. They come out, explode for 35 in the second. Defense pitches another shutout. And this defense now that has only given up, or the Dragons in general, I guess I should say, have only given up 14 points in the last 3 weeks. Only 1 of those was a defensive touchdown. So now we're at 12 quarters in which Carroll's given up 1 touchdown.
Yeah, and I think they're averaging maybe 8.6 points per game given up. And this is obviously going to reduce that total.
Yep.
They're probably going to move into that top defense or that top scoring defense, or least amount of points given up per game. And when you get in that territory, Chris, of you're 9 to 8 points below on average given up in a game, you're in pretty incredible territory as a defense.
Pretty elite. Allen was up there, but we know Allen and Prosper played a higher scoring game this afternoon up in Prosper. But that'll do it for us here tonight. Dragons' final regular season game already.
Chris, just the other day we're in Midland.
I know.
Splitting the sandwich and having a great time in the old what was it, La Quinta or What was
Residence
it?
Inn?
We got a suite.
Is the Residence
We had
Inn?
a suite. It's a 2-bedroom suite.
Yep.
And, it was.
We drove back at 4:30 in the morning for some reason.
We had to stop. We had to stop with the weather. Speaking of weather, the weather coming in, we had to drive and. Well, listen, let's not keep everyone too long.
Let's get out of
here. Talking about our story.
So the final regular season game next Friday, Halloween at Dragon Stadium. Carroll will take on Keller Central, looking to put the bow on a 10-0 season for the Dragons. So the final score once again tonight, Carroll 49, LD Bell nothing. For our director, Tim Polster, our statistician, Monty Clegg, and for Robert Clayton, Chris Blake saying goodnight from Pennington Field. We'll talk to you next week from Dragon Stadium on the Dragon Sports Network.
This week's Dragon football broadcast has been brought to you by White's Chapel United Methodist Church, Feed Store Barbecue, Kim Bedwell Briggs Freeman Sotheby's, Godwin Bowman PC, The Baker Firm Fidelity National Title, Recoat Revolution, The Mark Southlake, Life's Medicine, Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, Hearst Autoplex, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Patriot Mobile, The Dragon Den, and Mills Wealth Management. Thanks for joining us, and go Dragons.